This is 6:66 a.m. and this is the morning boo crew. To my left is Monstrous Mac with his menagerie of mythical mysteries and mechanical make-em-ups. To my right is Cartographer Chris with his charter to locales of creeps, chillers, and killers. To the right of my right is Annihilation Ashley, bringing the apex of actual adventure and alarming anecdotes. And I'm everyone's third favorite guest, the Quizmaster General, Izzy.
Very good. That was awesome. Everyone clap. Hey, you're in your car right now. I can see you. You're not clapping. Clap right now. I don't care who sees you while you're driving.
Please ignore and drive safely.
Disregard that.
Oh, we're sharing a mic today, by the way, so get used to that.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, welcome to So Anyway It's Haunted. I'm not going to do anything else because you did it. You literally talked about everything. So, yeah.
See you next week.
Monster Mac. Not that makes a difference.
Professor Mac.
I mean, it might as well be at this point.
Mac does folklore and urban legends. This guy
Hello.
does haunted places, and I read your paranormal stories. And Mac's gonna crack his knuckles directly into the microphone. Are you ready for this? Ew. And we have Izzy here. We haven't had Izzy on in a while.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm back with an all-new quiz because the last one was unofficial and threw the numbers out of whack.
Well, I am fine with the results.
I'm pretty sure Mac still pulled ahead.
It's still fine. As long as I'm, not last, that's totally fine for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chris only got 2 points.
Yeah, so anything new this week? Anything new since we last recorded? We got back from Austin.
Yeah.
When we were in Austin, we visited a cemetery. The Austin State Hospital, which used to be an insane asylum, which was really creepy and weird. And they have a whole bunch of brains that they're in jars that they're not entirely sure where they came from.
A brain collection, and one of them is the brain of the UT tower shooter.
Oh.
Yeah, he requested that his brain be examined by a local pathologist or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you think that's... there's just such a big up and atom about people who don't deserve to be remembered. And yet, knowing very well that he's, gonna be axed, he's just keep my brain. Look at it.
I think he actually thought that something was wrong with him. I think he had some kind of mental illness, and because it was in the 60s, it was obviously unchecked. So I think he really was something is actually wrong with me.
I think the consensus was that he knew that something definitely was up with him, and he didn't know where to go.
He would look at a Where's Waldo page, and they're all Waldos except for one person.
Wow, okay.
He's like, what's the point?
Where else did we go? We went
real quick.
What's up?
Not to be a nerd, but
What's up?
as someone who did earn a neuroscience degree, I can speak
I
a little bit on
forgot
that.
about
Yeah, it doesn't come up often.
I forgot about that too. Neuroscience? That's what you majored in?
Well, I got a few degrees, so...
Wait, what all degrees do you have? I want to know.
Okay,
I don't
so...
know. Okay.
I always feel like an asshole when I bring this up.
No, I asked you specifically.
Okay, but...
He keeps tiny versions of them in his wallet. He's pulling them out for us right now.
Yeah.
They're this small. I can't read them.
So I'm bringing out the slides. Okay, so... Starting on the bottom end, I've got an associate's in instrumentation technology.
Oh.
And then going up farther, I have a Bachelor of Arts in Historical Studies and a Bachelor of Science in Neuroscience.
Wow.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Was the instrumentation sort of like a backup plan or something?
Well, I got the instrumentation after I got the other degrees because I found out you can't get like decent jobs with those degrees, like
Okay.
unless you want to like get a master's. And I was pretty much sick of school, so I was like, I'm gonna go and get
a plant job.
Yeah, just a job where you can make good money,
Yeah.
and so that's what I did.
Yeah.
So back to the neuroscience part. The thing is a lot of times people with like behavioral issues will have like brain abnormalities. So the fact that they have his brain probably gives them the ability to scan it, and they can actually see that certain parts of the brain might be enlarged or smaller, or may not be connected, or they might find some evidence of trauma or something. So I mean, it'll help
Yeah.
in the long run.
I think in the article that we read, it mentioned that he did have brain tumors.
Yeah, so I mean, tumors like that, I mean, whenever you have stuff pressing on parts of the brain, it can cause various chemicals and stuff to be constantly omitted. It's the same thing with people who have giantism, where they have a tumor on their pituitary gland. That's what causes them to grow super huge. But it generally, because of the location, it also presses against their eyeballs, which everyone who's super tall has like terrible vision.
Yeah.
So like for instance, that's why Goliath was pretty much taken down super quick, because he's probably like a huge dude, but his vision was probably like garbage. So David was able to just, lickety split, pop him in the face, and then whenever he hit the ground, probably just stabbed him to death, and everyone was like, "Whoa!"
Cut off his head, actually.
Yeah. So I mean,
Wow.
like Goliath probably could not tell what the hell was going on. Probably all he did in fights was like swing something around because he's a huge dude. And then the second somebody was like, "I'm gonna take a pot shot right at his face," he didn't have a chance.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if you gave him some glasses, but
Or gave him just like one giant helmet that had no openings. Just told him to swing a club.
yeah, I mean, pretty much like just tiny enough eye holes to where he could kind of get an idea so it doesn't fall over. Like if they'd armored him up, he probably would have been able to take, David down pretty easy.
Oh, yeah, David's a little dude.
Yeah, but since I guess it was like the Stone Age or the Bronze Age or something, they probably had like some hardened leathers and maybe like a very thin kind of leathery helmet, but nothing to protect the forehead,
Yeah.
like right between the eyes.
That's the good stuff. The soft spot right there.
Yeah, the good spot right for slinging.
The juicy skull bits.
I saw somewhere someone mentioned that adults still have soft spots just as much as babies do. It's just you gotta find them.
Oh.
Ew, dude, that's
And I was just
disgusting.
like, what?
You've never
gross.
grabbed someone's head and just
The
squeezed?
belt around.
Oh, there it is. Just like Play-Doh.
I mean, if you ever feel like right here and you put pressure there, you can put somebody in pain.
Yeah.
Just like right there.
That's true.
If you get a big enough hand on there and you squeeze.
Ew. Squeeze.
Or the eyeballs.
Anyway, back to Austin. We also.
Sorry about that.
I just want to I want to wrap this up. We also went on a trail,
The Shoal Creek Trail.
Shoal Creek Trail, that was super haunted. We'll probably talk about it more in another episode.
We saw like 10 ghosts, but you didn't mention that the Texas State Hospital has caused the HEB to become haunted.
Oh
What?
yeah,
What?
there's an HEB on campus.
The
And
college?
yeah, there apparently have been some there's weird vibes in the HEB.
Yeah, supposedly isn't there like still like hundreds of bodies still buried on the property?
Yeah, at least several hundred bodies because it was an asylum before. The people would die and they would just bury them on the grounds, and then the grounds became a bigger hospital, different hospital, and then the other parts were bought out and commercialized. So there are definitely bodies under that little strip center there.
Yeah,
So-
it's pretty interesting.
Imagine trying to lift a head of lettuce and then finding the head of a guy.
Yeah, that's how that goes.
Yes.
I think that they were having problems in the bathrooms or something like that, like ghosts in the bathrooms. A bunch of freak ghosts.
Are you saying that because the first bathroom we went to was closed?
What was it?
What are you talking about?
I thought we read that in the article that there were ghosts in the bathroom.
I can't remember.
I do know that we showed up and we were like, all right, this is where it told us to go. Where's the stupid hospital? So we were walking around the entire HEB, and we walked around back, and there is an old building that we think is the hospital, and there was a plaque right by a really interesting looking tree. And I was like, oh, this is definitely going to be a tree where some bodies are buried.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, this juicy plaque's about to tell us how many bodies are under here.
Yeah, and let me tell you, that was Austin's 2018 Tree of the Year.
That was it. It was
No,
just
it was
like, this
probably
beautiful
like-
tree is the tree we choose for this year.
No, it probably
I'm
did have
floored.
like 100 bodies under, but they're like, listen, you have to put up at least one plaque. And they're like, if we award it, we can put up a different plaque.
Okay, so my big question though is, this is a haunted HEB, right? So,
Well, the grounds are haunted,
okay, so
but the HEB is on it.
are the ghosts organic or are they GMO?
Wow.
They are most definitely GMO.
Also, does the name change from Hair E Butts to Have Everyone Buried?
Yep.
Sorry, I didn't laugh at that only because I have to correct you because I think someone else is going to correct you. Even though I feel like
Harold.
the most corrections we get are
Howard.
from you.
Howard E Butts.
So you're probably
so
not going to be
much
correct. No, that's true. It's very true.
Henry E
You give
Butts.
us corrections every episode.
Hugh
We have a
E
running.
Butts.
What? Really? We're still doing this?
I don't know.
We
What
can't
is
have
it?
two different
What's the-
conversations
what's
going
the-
on.
What's the...
Actually,
Actually.
you can have a GMO product that is organic because organic.
Oh, you're
pertains
correcting
to the
him, not me.
pesticides and things. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay. Never mind.
That's all.
Thought you were going to tell me that one of my H names was obviously wrong.
No, I just wanted to say it because I've never been able to correct Izzy, and I never will again ever in my life.
Finally!
This is the one thing
curse
that I
has
know.
been
That's all.
lifted.
That's all.
I have corrected
cool.
the corrector.
Once
I have ascended.
I won the battle, but Izzy wins the war.
I mean, honestly, with genetic modification, if you just breed different plants, like on your farm, you're modifying them genetically.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but organic is different than GMO or non-GMO.
Yeah.
Remember, kids. eat your
Heirloom
tofu.
is connected to modifying and things like that. Anyway. That trail that we went on quickly. A guy was recently found dead on that trail.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was rough.
Like 3 months ago or something like that, yeah.
Yeah, they think he fell into the creek and drowned because he was drunk.
Yeah.
Remember,
So,
kids.
sit down, right?
Don't drink. Ever.
Maybe by a ghost.
No, he probably just died.
Yeah.
The
we
ghost
went by
in the
we went
bottle.
by a haunted house on the UT campus grounds, and that was horrible.
Yeah, because there were people everywhere. And if you don't know, there is this new thing. Well, I say new. It's probably been around for like a year and a half. It's this this service where a company comes and dumps a truckload of scooters into a city. And people go up and they can like turn on the scooters with their phone. Like they can pay for scooter time and they just drive scooters around the city.
I'm sorry. What?
And you just park it wherever, and like they're everywhere in Austin. And there's just like scooters all over. It looks apocalyptic when you
So-
see like a pile of dead scooters on the side of the road.
When you're done with it, do you just leave it somewhere and the
Yeah.
they just come pick it
Yeah.
up?
So these companies, it's sort of like Uber or Lyft
don't
or
like it.
whatever. They hire these people that will pick them up and go charge them at their house. And the people that charge them get money for however many they charge. And then they just go dump them back on the street.
Oh, no. We're getting to the John Wick economy of instead of
Assassin coins.
Yeah, instead of dropping bodies, you're dropping off scooter parts.
How many Lyft coins is it for a loaf of bread in the
'Cause
bread line?
Think about it. You're gonna get two guys that both got the same notification of the 5 scooters in the park. And they're gonna show
When they
up.
have to fight.
It's going to be a scooter turf war, is what you're
Yeah.
saying. The Scoot Wars.
Just
the
let it go.
Scoot Wars.
Just let it go.
There's a whole documentary, like a little documentary episode that BuzzFeed did, and it's on Netflix, so you can check it out. Anyway, it's haunted. Let's jump into it, shall we?
Yes.
Unless there's anything else you guys wanted to talk about.
I don't know. I can't think of any tangents right now.
We'll have
Yeah.
plenty of tangents this episode.
I just want to take 2 seconds to gracefully acknowledge the fact that I've been found out by some people in my life. That's okay. It's nice that you know me. I know you too. That's all.
All right, let's get it going. So who's going first? Just kidding. We always go in the same order. What? Ew.
Not Clayton.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. We've been quoting it wrong this entire time. Apparently, it's
Clayton.
Not Clayton.
Tarzan. Calm down.
Yep. All right. So visiting the Texas State Hospital got me in a kick for asylums.
Ooh.
So I looked up a couple of asylums. None of them are that interesting to talk about on their own. But together, they might make a worthwhile episode. So let's see. So I got my info from amboss.com and destinationamerica.com
Hey.
and Wikipedia. It's really weird. The Destination America website was the article I got about this first asylum that is located in Australia.
Yeah.
So it is known, or it was known as the Ararat Lunatic Asylum. It's really weird. Ararat. Today is known as the Aradel Lunatic Asylum.
I'm sorry, they still call it a lunatic asylum?
I don't know.
Aradel?
That's
Isn't
what
that
it's,
like the fake country Entangled?
I don't know.
Well, I guess it's not fake.
No, I think it's Aaron.
Like, Arendelle. Dadgum. Izzy's not even, like, searching these things. He just knows.
Oh.
But imagine for
I
a
have
second that
approximate
it's like
knowledge of
the,
all
it's like
things.
the Australian knockoff. So on the asylum walls, they just paint, like, Disney's Rapunzel all over it. And they're
Yeah.
just like, welcome to... No.
It's
I
Dibney's
don't know.
Rapunzel.
It's Disney. Aradel.
Dibney. So it's located in Ararat, a rural city in southwest Victoria, Australia. This asylum and its two sister asylums at Kew and Beechworth were commissioned to accommodate the growing number of mentally ill in the colony of Victoria and opened in 1865. It was designed by G.W. Vivian and J.J. Clark. The asylum was built as a town within a town with its own market gardens, orchard, vineyards, piggery, and other stock kept on the grounds. At its height, it had over 500 staff, and as it stands today, the complex is made up of 63 buildings, ranging in age from the original wings built in 1860 to the modern forensic unit, which was built in 1991.
Forensic?
Yeah. In 1886, the old jail at Ararat was part of the asylum. It was used to cater to those persons who were detained in any jail, reformatory, or industrial school, or other place of confinement who appeared to be insane. The ward was not a separate institution in its own right, and has continued to function as a division of the Ararat Mental Hospital. J Ward, as it was known, was always regarded as a temporary measure. However, the new criminal institute was created at Sunbury. When it was created, it was decided that only the female prisoners would be transferred to the new unit, and the old unit would be kept for the male prisoners.
Probably a good idea.
It then continued to hold female inmates during the building renovation of the Dom Phyllis Frost Center until 2001. And nowadays, it is an Australian wine college.
I'm sorry, what?
It is a wine college.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wah.
Another instance of, like,
That's just wild to me.
an old
Well,
asylum.
you're talking about an asylum, and you said that's crazy. So that's what the wah was.
Wow. It's another instance of, like, an abandoned asylum being used for, like, wine purposes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the soil is just so fertile and rocky with dead nut jobs.
This tastes like man.
Over its 130 years of operation, approximately 13,000 people have died on the grounds.
Rip.
Including 3 prisoners that were hanged while parts of the asylum were being used as a jail. They were buried, this is weird, they were buried upright, and their spirits are said to be forever locked inside the complex.
Oh, come on, man. When is there ever a way to bury somebody where it actually does any good? They like bury them upside down, then they can't go up.
Yep.
Oh, bury them upright. Now they're trapped here. Why are they trapped here? They're upright.
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I mean, you could just bury them respectfully and just get rid of the ghost.
You could treat them as people.
They pants him one last time before they bury him. And now he's embarrassed for life.
You see,
so
they put bars in the coffin so they can't get out.
It's the ultimate shame.
They're in jail forever.
Ghost jail.
So let's see. The inmates marked their graves. The Friends of J Ward have since placed plaques above these burial sites.
That's good.
An apparition dubbed Nurse Carrie supposedly haunts the women's wing of the asylum and can be caught watching patrons of ghost tours from a specific room in the wing. Many have also claimed that while walking through the surgery wing of the asylum, they have felt odd pains and the sensation of being touched. More commonly, people report feeling mysterious cold winds and loud bangs coming from the walls when they are alone in the building.
Nice.
One of the nice. One of the most well-known ghosts from this institute is Old Margaret.
It's never young Margaret, is it?
Old Maggie. She was a patient that was supposedly released in the 90s when the asylum closed, but now continues to haunt the asylum because she had such a strong connection to the place and views it as her own home.
I came back. No. You're free. Go away.
That was a really cool one. That was awesome. I enjoyed it. That was very nice.
Thank you.
Loud
You're
bangs.
welcome.
All right, so this next one is Taunton State Hospital. Taunton State Hospital is a psychiatric hospital located in Hodges Avenue in Taunton, Massachusetts. It was established in 1854. It was originally known as the State Lunatic Hospital at Taunton. It was the second state asylum in Massachusetts. Most of the original part of the facility was built in a unique and rare neoclassical design designed by architects Boyden and Ball. So the history of this one's not that interesting, but it did have some interesting patients. The first one is Anthony Santo. Anthony Santo, he was born in 1894 in Italy, and his date of death is actually unknown. He was an Italian-American serial killer who confessed to murdering 2 of his cousins and another girl in the span of 3 months during mad spells. He was eventually diagnosed as suffering from hallucinations and sent to Taunton Lunatic Asylum, where he supposedly died.
Why does that make me... Why does it make me more scared when the guy...
Wait, when the guy?
No.
What?
No. It's never gonna happen, you guys. It's never gonna happen.
What happened?
So many loogies hawked during the episode, and I apologize. I tried to cut them out, but I'm not gonna be able to cut that out.
Just cut.
The fact... No, I can't. I was in the middle of a sentence.
And start.
Anyway, so I think it's very interesting. It's kind of scary to me that he says that there were mad spells in which he like killed his family, which is like mad spells. That's so creepy.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have the I don't know, they didn't have the words, they didn't have the research, they didn't have the science. Mad spells. That's so creepy.
Yeah.
Just like a psychotic episode or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some kind of fugue state where
They're
he
like,
just-
we gave him cocaine, and it didn't help.
we
We gave him all of our heroin. What else can we do?
We took our scary metal syringe and filled it with a concoction of cocaine and heroin, along with various ethers, and it just didn't work.
Yeah, so this is pretty dark, so I'm just gonna skim over this. According to his confessions, he led his cousins into the woods and threw rocks at their heads, killing them. Let's see. He stated later he buried Frank's body, his cousin Frank, somewhere in the woods, but couldn't remember what became of James's body. He was unable to fix an exact date, but claimed that it was around March 1st. About a month after killing the Marinos, Santo moved to East Boston, where he lived with another cousin. On May 11th, while in Dedham, he chanced upon a 6-year-old Louise F. Stala. According to him, in that moment, he experienced a mad spell and struck the girl once before picking up a rock and throwing at the scared child who had tried to escape. So he killed her with a rock. He stayed with the body for a while before deciding to leave her body in the open field and flee.
Wait, you're not gonna read that part?
Let's see. Luis was struck in the head and fell to the ground. And thinking she was dead, Santo began praying for her so he could make her get better. However, Stala hadn't died yet, but without any help, she perished from her injuries.
Golly.
So after the deaths of both of the Marinos and Stala, their deaths puzzled authorities for a while, and the cases remained unsolved. However, Santo was eventually captured in Norwood after he was caught trying to steal a bike. After examination and trial, Police Chief Fred S. Sackett and a few reporters were interviewing the boy. Reporters were interviewing the boy when he suddenly announced that he had something important to tell them, immediately confessing to the murders of his two cousins. The shocked policeman immediately locked the alleged murderer up until an investigation was conducted. While being interrogated regarding his earlier confession, Santo also told the investigators that he had murdered Stala. Yeah. So that's him. He was kept there, and we don't know if he died there. We don't know where he went.
This is insane.
Yeah. So the next one.
What was the year on that?
Let's see. He was born in 1894.
It's probably the 30s.
Yeah, I don't know when he
Okay,
was.
so he was born in 1894. So that means he can't be Jack the Ripper.
Yeah. He was also born in Italy.
I mean, all the Jack the Ripper theories. There's like a Polish guy they think was Jack the Ripper. And there's like British nobility and doctors. There's all sorts of theories. So I mean, an Italian guy.
Yeah, maybe.
Not too far-fetched.
Unless Jack the Ripper left London, had a child in Italy, and then moved to the United States.
Oh my gosh.
It's just like the Prodigy.
Oh my god.
So the next one I'm going to talk about is Thomas Hubbard Sumner. He was born March 1807, died March 1876. He was a sea captain during the 19th century. He is best known for developing the celestial navigation method known as the Sumner Line, or line of position.
Oh.
He was one of 11 children, 4 of whom died young. Of the 7 that survived, he was the only son. He entered Harvard at age 15. On November 25th, 1837, Sumner sailed from Charleston, South Carolina, bound for Greenock, Scotland, and it was during that voyage, while entering the Channel of St. George and the Irish Sea, that he discovered the principle on which his new method of navigation was based. He took some years to perfect it and published it in the form of a short book in 1843. Shortly after this, his mind began to fail, and in 1850 he was committed to the McLean Asylum in Boston. His state gradually deteriorated. In 1865, he was committed to the Lunatic Hospital at Taunton, Massachusetts, where he died in 1876 at the age of 69.
Nice.
The next one...
I'm sorry.
Woo!
The next one is Jane Toppin. She was born Honora Kelly. She was an American serial killer nicknamed Jolly Jane.
Hey.
After her arrest in 1901, she confessed to 31 murders.
Got him.
She is quoted as saying that her ambition was to have killed more people, helpless people, than any other man or woman who ever lived.
What is happening right now?
Well, you done goofed, Jane.
Though scant records survive of Toppin's early years, it is known that her parents were Irish immigrants, and her mother, Bridget Kelly, died of tuberculosis when she was very young. Her father, Peter Kelly, was well known as an alcoholic, very abusive, and eccentric, nicknamed by those who knew him as Kelly the Crack. A few years after his wife's death, Peter abandoned his 2 younger children at the Boston Female Asylum, an orphanage for indigent female children founded in 1799 by Hannah Stillman. In November 1864, less than 2 years after her father had left them, Honora Kelly was placed as an indentured servant in the home of Mrs. Anne C. Toppin of Lowell, Massachusetts. Indentured servitude was a labor system in which people paid for their passage to the New World by working for an employer for a fixed term of years. Though never formally adopted by the Toppins, Honora took on the surname of her benefactors and eventually became known as a Toppin. In 1885, she began training to be a nurse at Cambridge Hospital. While she was there, she had a lot of friends and was well liked, and unlike her early years, where she was described as brilliant and terrible. At the hospital, she was nicknamed, let's see, brilliant and terrible. At the hospital, she was well liked, bright and friendly, evoking the nickname Jolly Jane. Once Toppin became close with the patients, she picked her favorite ones. The patients were normally elderly and very sick. During her residency, she used her patients as guinea pigs in experiments with morphine and atropine. She altered their prescribed dosages to see what it did to their nervous systems. However, she spent considerable time alone with patients, making up fake charts and medicating them to drift in and out of consciousness, and even getting into bed with them. She was recommended for the prestigious Massachusetts General Hospital in 1889. There, she claimed several more victims before being fired the following year. She briefly returned to Cambridge, but was soon dismissed for administering opiates recklessly. She then began a career as a private nurse and flourished despite complaints of petty theft. She began her true poisoning spree in earnest in 1895 by killing her landlord, Israel Dunham, and his wife. In 1899, she killed her foster sister Elizabeth with a dose of strychnine. In 1901, Toppin moved in with the elderly Alden Davis and his family in Cotamet to take care of him after the death of his wife, Mattie, whom Toppin had murdered.
Oh, gosh.
Within weeks, she killed Davis, his sister, Genevieve, and two of his daughters, Minnie and Edna.
Oh, my lord.
The surviving members of the Davis family ordered a toxicology exam on Alden Davis's youngest daughter, Minnie. The report found that she had been poisoned, and local authorities put a police detail on Toppin. On October 29, 1901, she was arrested for murder. By 1902, she had confessed to the 31 murders. And we in America love our satanic panic scares, especially in the 80s. So in this hospital, there have been reports of satanic rituals being conducted by doctors and nurses in the basement. Patients and doctors have been reported feeling a sense of unease while they're in the basement. And patients have also reported seeing the figure of a man crawling along the walls and watching patients.
You know, it's as if crawling isn't bad enough.
Yeah.
It's got to be on the walls.
Yeah.
But here's a question that I am sorry, but I have to ask. Are there any basements where you feel just great, just overflowing joy? Because I don't think I can describe a single basement I've ever been in that did not spark unease and tension in me.
Is there a basement to Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory?
There's the basement to the
I
Alamo.
would not set foot in Willy Wonka's factory.
It's just a bunch of children's skeletons.
Yep.
Oh, gosh.
Well, what'd you think the chocolate was?
That was insane, and I can't believe I've never heard of her as a serial killer. That was
You know what's
crazy.
weird? I feel like I can't tell if I have heard of her or if it's just that the whole poisoning spree has happened so many times with so many different serial killers.
I think it's happened a few times, yeah.
I was about to say, I know there's that dude that considered himself the angel of death and
Yeah.
like several other people, but it's like all their stories are the same. It's like a family trusted them to be a private practitioner. You know, they went to a hospital, they screwed around the hospital, and the hospital's like, hey, something's not right, but then the person leaves just in time to go ruin more people's lives.
Yeah.
Goodness.
That's kind of like Typhoid Mary. Because she was like a cook. And like I think a maid, but like she also cooked for families. And back then, for some reason, what was she, Scottish or Irish?
I want to say Scottish.
Was she Scottish?
Scottish sounds right, but I can't be. I can look it up right now.
It's one of those. Back then, apparently, they used to like use their hands a lot to cook food and handle food. No. Like, yeah, it was like really freaking rough. So, yeah, they basically followed the typhoid outbreak.
Irish American.
Irish, okay. They followed the typhoid outbreak.
From
Basically,
house to house.
yeah, from house to house, from family to family, because she was caring for each of these families, but she was immune to it.
No, she was a carrier. She was infected, but
Oh, she was a
asymptomatic.
carrier. That's right. Yeah.
So like, I
that's
guess
a better way to
whenever
say it.
she'd get like her various fluids
Yeah.
mixed in with stuff, is
With
what it was.
food and all the other things that they were ingesting.
Yeah,
Gross.
so
Disgusting.
that was back in the time before, hygiene and probably
Yeah.
before they had like ethical standards for.
When you made everything with your hands, you had to massage your beef stews and
You had to make sure that all the open wounds were able to absorb plenty of salmonella to make you stronger.
The germs are good for you.
All right. Izzy, do you want to go next, or Mac, do you want to go next?
I mean, I've got a game prepared,
Okay.
but if
Yeah, you can go first. We'll save my bit.
okay, so continuing with the quizology, I've got a little bit of a game.
Game time.
The game will be, I will give you a region or area and a year, and you need to tell me, was there a UFO related incident or something else?
Oh.
Okay, so how do we answer?
It's like
So
true or
it's
false,
it's
but
going
it's
to be-
UFO or something else, right?
Yeah, it's UFO or not.
Okay.
And Ashley, I'm gonna give you a hint right now. Mm-hmm. If you know it, don't go ooh. It's definitely this. You need to have.
No, I didn't do that. I
you-
don't know if
No,
I.
yeah, you did that. You did that a few times.
I don't think so. I don't know.
So, yeah. So
Maybe
you,
I was just playing reverse
the
poker
tapes.
face.
well, it made you have a losing score. So have a poker face.
I don't think I agree with that, but we can continue.
I can pull up the numbers.
different strategies. Different strategies. Let's see which one shakes out.
Don't patronize me.
I'm just trying to give you a fighting chance here. All right.
Wow.
All right. So you guys ready?
Yeah.
UFO or not? The only information I will give is a region or city and a year. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So number 1, South Pacific, 1945.
South Pacific, 1945. I'm gonna say
It's gonna be a no from me.
UFO.
I'm gonna say no. It's something else.
UF no.
Oh, nice.
Thanks. I said UFO though. It's UFO.
Okay. So this is definitely a UFO situation.
Oh,
Have you ever heard of Foo Fighters?
Yes, I
Okay,
think.
so. This is one of the more famous stories related to the South Pacific. A U.S. Air Force pilot named Dwayne Adams. Keep in mind, he had 2 experiences with these, but the one I'm going to talk about, or the one specifically, is whenever it was right after World War II, and he was piloting a B-25 bomber, and he noticed an occurrence of bright light, which paced his aircraft for about half an hour and then rapidly ascended into the sky.
oh,
And this happened to him twice.
Oh my gosh.
And so there are some theories as to what it could be.
he's being
It could-
stalked.
It could be. So it could be St. Elmo's fire. It could be ball lightning. And then there were also reports of Nazi sky mines. They would sort of
What?
they would kind of rocket up and then fuck with planes and stuff. But the thing with the Nazi mines, there isn't really much evidence for that.
Yeah.
Like they don't really know if those were actually used or not. So I mean, it's pretty strange to me. None of that says, ball lightning or St. Elmo's fire or anything like that. So I thought that was spooksy.
Yeah.
And there's some cat purring going on. That's
I'm still listening. I just wanted.
No,
I wanted to get that.
all right. So let me go ahead and mark that was an Ashley win. Congratulations, Ashley.
Thank you.
You're pulling ahead.
Taking an early lead. All right. The Stony Tunguska River, Russia, 1908.
Whoa. Stony Tunguska River?
That will be
1908. That's pretty early. I don't know. I'm gonna say no.
It's
gonna
an
say no.
other.
All of you are saying no?
Yes.
All right, you guys are right. While this was an extraterrestrial related event, it was not unidentified.
Oh.
So they believe that there was a meteor explosion
Oh.
Whoa.
just over the Stony Tunguska River in Russia. The explosion was over a sparsely populated eastern Siberian taiga, which flattened 2,000 square kilometers of forest, yet caused no known human casualties. Although there are reports that 2 people died, it's unconfirmed.
Oh.
It's classified as an
gnarly.
impact event, even though there was no impact crater which was found.
What does a meteor explosion mean?
It just whenever it must have came in super hot and then just it heated up and kaboom.
Wow. Huh.
So there's
Okay.
there's some weird numbers related to this.
Okay.
So let's see, it disintegrated at an altitude of 5 to 10 kilometers rather than having hit the surface of the Earth. It's the largest impact event on Earth in recorded history.
Oh.
Wow.
Studies have yielded different estimates on the meteoroid's size on an order of 60 to 190 meters, depending on whether the body was a comet or a denser asteroid.
Wow.
It exploded with a 15 megaton strength, which is about 1,000 times greater than the atomic bomb dropped on
Oh
Hiroshima,
my
Japan.
gosh.
Okay.
Yeah. So roughly equal to that of United States Castle Bravo ground-based thermonuclear detonation.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So
What the heck, dude?
yeah. So it was just sort of a like if you ever look at the pictures, it's just like dead land with trees knocked over.
Yeah.
It's all in black and white. It's real.
Apocalyptic.
Yeah. It's like I said, extraterrestrial but not unknown.
Yeah.
So I get to put all 3.
Oh yeah.
You guys down in that. So Ashley still has an early lead. Congratulations.
I'm just being really chill.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Question 3. Fort Knox, Kentucky, 1948.
Ooh. Fort Knox. I'm gonna say yes.
The Colonel.
Kentucky.
What is the date again?
1948.
The Colonel never lies.
Sadly, that's 2 years before the 50s. So, yes.
Yes. Yes, UFO.
Did you know?
So is everyone a yes?
I'm gonna say yes.
Yes.
Okay. You guys are correct. On January 7th, 1948, 25-year-old Captain Thomas F. Mantell, a Kentucky Air National Guard pilot, died in the crash of his P-51 Mustang fighter after being sent in pursuit of an unidentified flying object.
Oh.
The event was one of the most publicized early UFO incidents, and later investigations by the United States Air Force, Project Blue Book, indicated that Mantell may have died chasing a skyhook balloon,
Oh.
which in 1948 was a top secret project that Mantell would not have known about.
Okay.
Mantell pursued the object in a steep climb and disregarded suggestions to level his altitude, and at high altitude he blacked out of lack of oxygen. But the thing was, he was inexperienced with the P-51, could have been a contributing factor. But let's see, Air Force Captain Edward J. Ruppelt, the first head of Project Blue Book, wrote that the Mantell crash was one of the 3 classic UFO cases in 1948 that would help define the UFO phenomenon in the public mind.
Okay.
Yeah,
That is insane and very sad.
yeah. So you get to go ahead and mark another 3 for that one.
Oh yeah.
Big money. Pig money.
Dallas, Texas, 1897.
1897.
1897.
Dallas.
1897.
Oh. Are there
I want to say yes, but I'm going to say no.
Are there pioneer UFOs? I'm gonna say yes.
Dadgummit.
Pioneer UFOs.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Aliens and Cowboys.
So Chris
Great
is a
movie.
yes. Ashley is a no. And
I'm a yes.
Mac is a yes. All right. So
Right.
Yeah.
on April 17th, 1897, the Dallas Morning News reported that the previous evening, 3 boys hoaxed a mystery airship sighting by soaking a cotton ball in kerosene
What?
and tying it to the leg of a turkey vulture.
What the
Horrible.
When the bird was released, witnesses to its light shouted, "Look, it's the airship!" And the hoax was discovered when the bird landed on the roof of the local high school. And the burning cotton ball set fire to the school.
Oh my god.
Was the bird okay?
Probably not.
They didn't
Yeah,
give
what?
a shit.
I know. I do.
Okay, so who said no?
I said no, so I'm right.
Okay.
Are we going on honor system?
Actually, Ashley
Yeah.
was the one that said yes. Me and Castaneda said no.
I said yes.
Yeah, I said yes.
Yeah, so you guys got duped.
No.
You big dupers.
Doopy dippers.
Doopy dip. You dipping dupers.
All right. So, you guys ready for the next one?
Yes.
Northern California, 1967.
Ooh.
No way.
Northern California. Wait. No.
That's the Bigfoot.
Northern California. 1967.
I'm gonna say no.
I might say yes.
Okay, so I got 2 no's and a yes.
Correct.
Mac's little comment was right. That was the
Yeah.
Patterson Gimlin
Yeah.
Bigfoot film.
What?
Now,
Okay.
the question is Bigfoot an alien?
Oh.
No.
No, he's not. What? No. He's Kane. We all know that.
Yeah, sure.
Oh.
Totally. The curse was to become a large, hairy gorilla man. Okay.
I mean, you didn't see where he went after he went off screen. He could have just gone and gotten in his ship and flown away.
Yeah.
That's true.
Tell me the name of that film again.
The Patterson Gimlin film.
Yep.
Patterson Gimlin. I feel like that's a really good piece of trivia to know.
Okay.
And that's all.
All right, cool.
So that's a Mac and Ashley point. All right, here we go. Here's another one. Dallas, Texas, 1963.
This time it's got to be correct. It's Dallas.
Isn't that when JFK got assassinated?
I don't know, is it?
Was that 63? Or was that later? Pretty sure that was then. I'm gonna say no.
I'm gonna say no.
I'm going to say yes.
And I know I just pulled a McAnally and I shouldn't have done that if this is correct, but I'm not entirely sure, so we'll see.
Yeah, it was definitely the Kennedy assassination.
That's what I thought.
Okay. So, I mean, I guess you could always ask, is it aliens? Was it the CIA? Was it LBJ?
Oh, yeah.
The Smoking Man?
Smoking Man.
Smoking man.
Cancer Man.
Yep.
Spooky Molder, we love ya.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's up to interpretation, but there are no recorded UFO connections
Yeah.
to the Kennedy assassination that can be confirmed.
No proven UFO connections.
Exactly. All right, number 7. Phoenix, Arizona, 1997.
This.
Yeah, the
Yes.
Nights.
D-
Oh, sorry,
you
but you might.
did it. Oh my gosh. It's a no from me.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Sorry.
Ashley-
Sorry, not sorry. You knew. You freaked out. You were like, oh. I mean, I don't know. Ooh, yes.
Yes.
Max says no.
I said yes. It's the Northern Lights.
The Northern Lights. That's them.
Yeah, that's what
You guys are partially correct.
Oh.
So the second set of lights that showed up in Phoenix were easily discounted as flares from the local Air Force base. The first set of lights, however, there was definitely some kind of spooky UFO action happening.
Yeah, if you see the footage, it's like really crazy.
So either that's a big ass fucking stealth bomber they were flying over Phoenix, or it was a UFO.
Yeah.
Spooky stuff. If you haven't read like all the fact that they tracked it from town all the way over Phoenix and away, it's a pretty nutso thing to see.
Yeah.
Also look up the videos.
Yeah.
It's grainy
Yeah.
it's grainy VHS tapes, but it is chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Pretty spooky.
Also, apparently the governor at the time saw it too, and he was spooked out. He described the object as otherworldly.
His eyeballs caught on fire, and he screamed into the night.
He shot into the air.
What?
All right,
He was the UFO.
so everyone got that one right. You guys are doing pretty good on this one. Good thing I got some.
Some curveballs.
Oh yeah. Number 8. Fargo, North Dakota, 1948.
Yes.
No.
I'm gonna say no.
I'm gonna say yes.
North Dakota, huh?
Okay.
They got them bears up there.
This was the location of the Gorman dogfight.
What? What is that?
And now, this is one I need to actually pull up the article because there's so much cool shit going on with this.
Yeah, I've never heard of this before.
Okay, so the Gorman dogfight, so in 1948 in the skies over Fargo, North Dakota, it involved George F. Gorman, a pilot with the North Dakota Air National Guard. Let's see. So what happened is this guy is a veteran pilot from Second World War, and they were doing a cross-country flight on the P-51 Mustangs. So he arrived at Fargo at approximately 8:30 p.m. And then he decided to go on a night flight. So around 9 o'clock, he flew over a football stadium, a football game. Let's see, where's the good stuff happen? Okay. So shortly after he noticed the Piper Club, Gorman saw another object to the west. When he looked for the outline of a wing or fuselage, he could not see one. This contrasted with the Piper Club, whose outline was clearly visible. The object appeared to be a blinking light. At 9:07 p.m., Gorman contacted the control tower at Fargo's Hector Airport and asked if it had any traffic in the area other than his P-51 and the Piper Club. The tower answered that it did not. Yeah. So
That they know of.
Dun
Yeah.
dun dun.
some illegal aliens.
Wow, you just did that.
I did.
I did.
But so here's the dogfight part. So Gorman told the tower he's going to pursue the object to determine its identity. He moved his Mustang to full power, but soon realized that the object was going too fast for him to catch in a straight run. So instead, he tried cutting it off by turns. He made a right turn and approached the object head on at 5,000 feet. The object flew over his plane at a distance of about 500 feet. Gorman described the object as a simple ball of light, about 6 to 8 inches in diameter. He also noted that when the object increased its speed, it stopped blinking and grew brighter.
Whoa.
After his near collision, Gorman lost sight of the object, and then when he saw it again, it appeared to have made a 180-degree turn and was coming at him again.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
The object then made a sudden vertical climb. Gorman followed the object in his own steep climb. At 14,000 feet, his P-51 stalled. The object was still 2,000 feet above him.
Wow.
Gorman made 2 further attempts to get closer to the object with no success. It seemed to make another head-on pass, but broke off before coming closer to his fighter. By this point, the object had moved over the Fargo airport. In the control tower, the air traffic controller, L.D. Jensen, viewed the object through binoculars but could see no form or shape around the light.
Wow.
He was joined by Dr. Cannon and his passenger from the Piper Club, and they landed and walked to the control tower to get a better view of the object. Gorman continued to follow the object until he was approximately 25 miles southwest of Fargo. At 14,000 feet, he observed the light at 11,000 feet. He then dived on the object at full power. However, the object made a vertical climb. Gorman tried to pursue, but watched the object passed out of his visual range. At this point, he broke the chase. It was 9:27 p.m. He
Wow.
flew back to Fargo's Hector Airport.
I've never heard about that before. That was insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so here's his statement on what happened. He said, "I am convinced there was definite thought behind its maneuvers. I'm further convinced that the object was governed by the laws of inertia because its acceleration was rapid but not immediate, and although it was able to turn tight in a considerable speed, it still followed a natural curve. When I attempted to turn with the object, I blacked out temporarily due to the excessive speed. I'm in fairly good physical condition, and I do not believe there are many pilots, if any pilots, who could withstand the turn and speed affected by the object and remain conscious.
Wow.
The object was not only able to outturn and outspeed my aircraft, but was able to attain a far steeper climb and was able to maintain a constant rate of climb far in excess of my aircraft."
Huh.
Yeah.
That
Spooky
is
stuff.
that is insane.
Wow.
Yep.
Like I don't even know. Like what the heck, dude? Like that's
It's
wild.
like an Ace Combat 6 secret boss fight.
Yeah. And then, so here's the Air Force investigation part. which is also where it gets fucking creepier.
Oh.
So within a few hours, military officers from Project Sign arrived to question Gorman and other witnesses. Project Sign had been created by the U.S. Air Force in late 1947 to investigate UFO reports. The officers interviewed Gorman, Dr. Cannon, and his passenger, and the control tower personnel. The officers also checked Gorman's P-51 Mustang with a Geiger counter for radiation.
Whoa.
They found that his Mustang was measurably more radioactive than other fighters, which had not flown for several days.
Wow.
This was taken as evidence that Gorman had flown close to an atomic-powered object.
Whoa.
Wow.
The Air Force investigators also ruled out the possibility of the lighted object being another aircraft, Canadian Vampire jet fighters, or a weather balloon. Their initial conclusion, writes UFO historian Curtis Peebles, was that something remarkable had occurred to Gorman in the skies above Fargo.
Wow.
Yeah.
Something remarkable.
It was Russians.
Wow. That would be a really good like alien movie name, Something Remarkable. Where it's like, man, I would love to learn. I would love to watch a documentary about that.
Yeah.
Okay. So
And
just,
now the
just
pilot
as
can't die.
some notes that the planes that he was flying were less shielded from radiation, so they said that the radiation could be accounted for just from being higher in the atmosphere and receiving more cosmic radiation. Let's see. In addition, the Weather Service revealed that on October 1st, it had released a lighted weather balloon from Fargo at 8:50 p.m. By 9 p.m., the balloon would have been in the area where Gorman and the Paperclip passenger saw a lighted object, though that doesn't explain the speeds.
Yeah.
Project Sign's investigators also believe that the incredible movements of the object were due to Gorman's own maneuvers as he chased the light.
That's what I was wondering.
But even then, that seems strange.
Yeah.
The object's maneuvers were an illusion brought about by the movements of Gorman's fighter. Investigators also believe that the weather balloon passed out of sight, and Gorman had come to believe that the planet Jupiter was the UFO, which I think that's kind of...
Yeah.
That's a bit far-fetched.
Yeah, and this is an experienced pilot. Therefore, Gorman had been chasing the planet as he flew south of Fargo. So, I mean, you could argue, it's a weather balloon.
Yeah.
But I've never heard of weather balloons moving,
Yeah.
side to side. I figured they're either going to be blown by the wind or they're going up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Also, when he went at it head on, what would cause it to... Basically, they were playing chicken.
yeah,
So what would cause it to move out of the way
yeah,
if he was heading straight for it? That doesn't make any sense.
yeah.
And then it came back around and did the same thing to him. So, like, I don't know. I don't think so, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you could argue that this is definitely a weather balloon, but it still seems weird.
Yeah.
It's like a weird incident. So,
Spooky
I don't know.
weird.
I think
Spooky.
it was a spooky incident to begin with.
Yeah.
Okay. So, moving on. Nuremberg, Germany, 1561.
1561.
1561.
Yes.
I want to believe it is. Yes.
It's a no from me.
Did you just I want to believe?
I want to believe.
I want to believe.
I want to believe. Can you show me something's
That-
fun?
That is something called the Nuremberg Celestial Event.
Pause.
A wild Christopher appears.
We should pause anyways because I was going to run to the restroom.
All right, here we go. Bathroom break.
Saucy.
I like it. Okay. The 1561 celestial phenomenon over Nuremberg and the Holy Roman Empire. But presumably, I guess this is in Germany. So the residents of Nuremberg saw what they described as an aerial battle, followed by the appearance of a large black triangular object and then a large crash outside the city. The broadsheet claims that witnesses observed hundreds of spheres, cylinders, and other odd-shaped objects that moved erratically overhead.
Wow. So they were fighting?
Yeah, some kind of
What?
weird.
And this is in
1561.
Wow. What?
Yeah.
How have I never heard about this? This is insane.
I don't know what to think about that.
Yeah.
I mean, where would they get the idea of large geometric shapes fighting
Yeah.
Yeah.
in 1561?
I think that's too real for me.
Yeah. Why would the aliens come here to fight?
Because, I mean, it's a backwater planet.
It's exactly why Goku's always like, hey, let's go somewhere where there's no civilians. And then they go to a random grassy field.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what those aliens are doing.
Okay.
Where there's always like a mountain to throw the bad
Literally,
guy into.
every time.
We have to break the mountain. All right, so back to Sickfees. All right, here's a good one. Strasbourg, France, 1518.
Man, all these 15...
It's going to be a no from me.
I don't... I'm going to say no.
I'm gonna say no.
All three no's.
Yeah.
All right, so your instincts were correct.
Oh, yeah.
But what actually happened might be stranger.
Intrigue.
Have you heard of the dancing plague?
What?
Yes.
I think I have.
Yeah, so that shit's fucking weird. So let's see, I don't think I have the thing pulled up, but pretty much like the whole town, just everyone was just started uncontrollably dancing.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I need specifics.
Okay,
What makes me
Give me
more
specifics.
freaked out than that is that it's not like you walk into a French town and they're all like doing the electric whatever boogaloo.
Yep.
It's probably like people like janking around and I would probably just jump into the first river I see once I witness an entire town of people doing like
Yeah.
freakish possessed movements. No, thank you.
But what if you went to that town and it was just a giant Bollywood dance sequence?
Oh yeah, then I join them.
Okay.
No wonder that's the dancing plague. You see it and you have to join.
What sort of like malevolent god would curse these people with a real life Bollywood scenario?
Man, that never ends.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bollywood forever. But okay, so here's the thing. So there's a case of dancing mania that occurred in Strasbourg, Alsace,
Dancing mania.
in modern day France, which was also in the Holy Roman Empire. In July of 1518, around 400 people took to dancing for days without rest, and over the period of about 1 month, some of those affected collapsed or even died of heart attack, stroke, or exhaustion.
It's like that scene in Hocus Pocus.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, wait. Was it truly that they were dancing, or that they were just having
Spasms.
spasms?
Depends on your definition of dancing.
Well, let's see.
I'm sure the
trying to see.
mysticism behind it is, they were dancing. But, like, I swear to you, if these people... Well, I don't know. Maybe it's just like a Burning Man situation. They're all just, like, really into it. And they're like, I was just overcome by something, man.
Yeah.
Or maybe they ate really bad mushrooms.
Okay, so that might come up momentarily. So let's start here. Historical documents, including physician notes, cathedral sermons, local and regional chronicles, and even notes issued by the Strasbourg City Council, are clear that the victims danced. It is not known why these people danced, some even to their deaths.
Wow.
Now, when you move down to theories, modern theories include food poisoning caused by the toxic and psychoactive chemical products of ergo fungi, which grows commonly on grains in the wheat family.
Okay.
Interesting.
So that could very easily be that they were tripping balls.
Is that a scientific term?
I mean,
Dr. Izzy?
I would call it a... it would probably be having a psychoactive episode or,
Okay.
Absolutely
or some
missed the-
horseshit like that.
You absolutely missed the opportunity to say that they were tripping on bales.
Oh. Got him.
Moving on.
All right.
It's not as creepy as you think. It's just really... Every time I see that movie, I'm just like, stop it.
What movie?
But
Triggers
maybe
your ASMR.
I was like, maybe it's just my ASMR hatred coming
no.
out. The grudge girl thinks that she's scaring me, and actually, like, my eyes are the ones that are like bulging, and I'm like ready to strangle her.
You just hate any mouth noise whatsoever.
I guess so.
You know what's bad is that I've watched so much ASMR that I used to really hate mouth sounds and whispering and mukbang and things like that, but now I actually like it. I think
Yeah.
I just watched so much of it that I actually like it.
See, I don't have a problem with
sad.
people whispering. It's just the wet, meaty noises that make me want to plunge my thumbs into people's eyeballs.
Man, who would win in a fight between Izzy and Mac? I really don't know.
Depends on if I go in berserk. If it's just me, probably Izzy.
I would definitely try to go for the joints and
See.
pop him right in the throat.
It would only be in the instance if I went animalistic, because my first instinct is to like legit just bite people.
Yeah, well, see, if you go in for the bite, that means I get free reign of the eyeballs.
See, see.
Not protecting your eyes.
Yeah,
Remember
see,
the basic of CQC.
when you're in a life or
Protect your
death
neck.
fight, you fight dirty.
Yeah,
That's just the way it goes.
there's no such thing as like if you are actually in a fight, you don't rules. Excuse me. The one fight I got into, I smashed the guy's head into some concrete.
You were not following the Geneva
I
Convention
was
of fighting,
protecting
of
myself.
schoolyard fighting.
I've choked a few bitches. And
So welcome to So Anyway It's Haunted.
in a fight scenario, and they were
Yeah.
they were man bitches.
Yeah,
so
it wasn't
it's
like
okay.
it was. We do not promote
You got into fights?
senseless violence.
It was more of a they thought it'd be funny to pants me, so I grabbed them by the throat and showed them what for.
Wow.
You throttled them?
Wait,
Yeah.
was this in high school, I'm assuming?
Once I think it was all in middle school actually.
That's so weird. That's when
All
my
the,
fight was.
Yeah, all the athletes had a quiet respect for me, so I never had any shit from them. It was nice.
Good, that's how you do it.
Anyways, yeah. So pretty much it's just the rest of the explanations are some kind of crazy ball tripping event
Yeah.
caused the dancing thing. So if you guys are really curious about Dancing Mania, there's all sorts of links on the Wikipedia that the listeners can follow down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, I'm going to check
Nice,
that out. I
nice.
need to know more about that.
It's some weird shit.
Yep.
Okay, so we were just at Strasbourg, France. Here's one that some of you might enjoy. The Eastern Shore, Japan, 1803.
Yes.
1803.
It's gonna be yes.
1803.
That was the same year they invented J-pop.
I'm gonna say yes.
I'm going to say yes.
So that's 3 yeses?
Yeah.
Copycats.
Okay, so this is another one that's got a weird explanation.
Godzilla. Not a UFO. Just a.
This incident is called the Utsurobune at Haratano Hama.
Okay.
On February 22nd or March 24th, which is a weird beginning.
Right.
In 1803, though, local fishermen reportedly saw a vessel drifting in close-by waters. They say when they investigated, a beautiful young woman they described as having red and white hair
What?
and dressed in strange clothes appeared. The fishermen claimed she held a square box that no one was allowed to touch.
What?
And she spoke to them in a language they had never heard before.
I'm getting chills.
Now, modern UFO believers that this story was a credible document of a close encounter of a third kind in early Japan. Historians and ethnologists consider it to be folklore. So,
What if she was a time traveler?
Yeah.
What if the box was a cell phone?
That's what I was thinking.
Why would it be a cell phone?
I don't know. That's my theory.
You're gonna have
What do you want me to say? That's the thing I thought.
The iPhone 1 year. I mean the iPhone year 1 AK-47 app. Just be like,
Yeah. Yep.
and there's like,
How big was the box? Do we know?
yeah, how big was the box?
okay, well, I guess I'll have to pull up
This
the
is
rest of
actually the
story.
secret movie from Kingdom Hearts. That's what it is. So.
Maybe it was like some sort of like
sanctuary.
power cell for her time machine, and she needed it to like cool off.
Well,
She
yeah.
didn't want him to open the power cell or whatever and get exposed to radiation.
See, I was going to say, if she was a time traveler, perhaps she is returning back to a time whenever the atmosphere was not polluted by post-nuclear, particles, radioactive particles.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it could be plausible.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, but she's got red and
like
white hair,
that.
so like that makes me very mad. If you're gonna be a time traveler, you should have thought of that.
Is it like half and half? White on one side, red on the other?
No, it's actually all white, and then there's just a circle red of hair. Stupid.
Okay, so there's a bunch of shit on this,
She's like, you don't know this,
which
but
I
Rising
am
Sun.
not going to read. But if anyone is super curious about this, it's the Utsuro Bune
Okay.
Nice.
article. Also, Utsuro Fune and Urobune is one word.
And Ouroboros.
So I guess they just left her in the ocean.
I guess they left her business. Let's see,
Perturbed by this, they turned her boat around and put it away.
They evaluated the legend of the hollow boat as part of a long-standing tradition within Japanese folklore. Alternative, some UFOologists have claimed that the story represents evidence of a close encounter of the third kind. So, would you guys like to see the ink drawing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if I can expand.
Is this like from the time period?
It looks pretty of the time period.
Looks pretty ancient.
Oh shit, sorry.
Oh. Okay. Oh, that's her craft?
Yeah.
Heck.
Oh, okay.
It's weird that the saucer design would be in early Japan and then also show up repeatedly throughout European art
Yeah.
in
Consider
the
the
Romance
following.
ages and in
She's
modern.
a Vocaloid.
Mm.
They finally got real bodies and they went back in time to be accepted as human beings.
Hatsune. Hatsune me.
What the heck? That was insane. I don't know what to think about these. These are too real for me. The older they get,
See, these aren't even the oldest ones that I am.
that's insane to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Whoa, man, I'm freaking out.
so you could seriously do a whole episode where you just go through the list
Oh,
of
yeah.
encounters and just read this shit.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
All right, so I got two more. You guys ready for these?
Yeah.
Houston, Texas, 1989.
Yes.
1989.
I'm going to say yes, not because I know it's true, but because I want it to be true.
Is that when the Houston Oilers were abducted?
By Tennessee.
The big Texan started freaking out and he skyrocketed up.
I'm gonna say yes.
My people need me.
I say yes.
That's a three S's.
Yeah.
You guys are all wrong.
Oh no.
Well, I don't care.
I was born in Houston, Texas in 1989.
Oh.
However, one thing that makes it weird is that my parents were married in a church shaped like a pyramid.
Whoa!
And it was like super hippy dippy.
Oh.
So
I would not expect that from your parents.
Yeah.
I want you to reevaluate this. Think about my parents.
Yeah,
It makes a lot
could-
more sense
I
than you
could see
think.
it.
Okay.
From the conversations I've had with your dad in Walmart, I can see it.
Yeah,
Huh. Okay.
yeah. So that was a tricksy question. But like I said, it involved a pyramid church.
No.
Yeah, that's nice.
That weird, strange hippy dippy church.
Yeah. Are you gonna name drop the church?
I honestly don't know the name. I just know
Okay.
it's the church with the pyramid.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can't be that hard to find, right?
Yeah, it's like it's like right over there by Fogo on Westheimer.
Ooh.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Well, it's not on Westheimer, but
Go
it's
Fogo.
right next to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's in here in town.
Huh.
So, if you really wanted to find it, you could find the Pyramid Church. So,
I'd be disappointed if we went there and it was just like a DSW or something, or just a giant Payless shoes.
it could have changed.
Yeah.
Things happen in however old years.
Nobody's
now.
perfect.
But yes, there were strange alignments that time. Okay, last question, number 13. This one's for all the marbles, not really. Scotland, 1934.
That is Stonehenge, isn't it?
Yep. It was constructed 1934.
1934.
1934. I'm gonna say yes.
Yes. No. No. Yeah, I say no.
It's a yes for me.
Okay, so a yes for Mac, a no for Ashley, and a yes for Chris.
Yes.
Ashley takes the cake on this one.
Oh.
Because it was not a UFO.
Oh.
It was not even a real thing. This was the year of the surgeon's photograph of Nessie.
Oh.
Oh.
That's really good.
You know, the most famous picture?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know the most famous picture?
He was a surgeon?
Well, it was because it was originally turned in by a gynecologist.
Oh. Okay.
So I guess he did lady cutting stuff. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of cutting that needs to go on.
I'm just saying they called it the surgeon picture, but it listed him as a gynecologist.
Weird.
I didn't look up the dude. Okay,
Also, maybe they didn't like saying that word back then. That might be why.
possibly.
Yeah.
But pretty much the whole hoax in general was basically these dudes were super pissed off at the Daily Mail or whatever, so they created this hoax to goof them
Yeah.
as revenge.
Huh.
And so I think in like the 70s they debunked it.
Okay.
Rip. Nessie's out
No, it's real.
there. It's funny how, like, obviously everything that surrounded like the original happening was like a hoax, but like through trying to make sense of it, we discovered that there is the possibility of a, what did they call it? It's like a, I'll say it wrong. I'm
It's like
sure.
a plesiosaur.
Yeah, plesiosaur or something like that could very much have survived to this day, but like we don't have evidence of it being alive, and it's just there's been a lot of similar creatures and evolutions of said dino.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I just think that's funny. It's like he's like, I'm gonna make this this funny spook, and then it's
Yeah.
like, well, actually, it could have actually happened. And they're like, yeah,
Fuck
but
you.
But it's not supposed to.
stop.
Yeah,
The Daily
so-
Mail's getting so much attention.
So I will make a tally later, but I want to say for the first time in history,
Yeah, I think.
Ashley has
And
pulled ahead.
so anyway, it's haunted history.
Yes.
Oh.
Ashley
I'm proving
might have
myself a
pulled
winner.
ahead.
So anyway, it's
Now-
a paradox.
We'll see how things stand with the full tally. So you might still be a quiz behind Ashley.
I'm fine with that. I'm pulling ahead is all I'm saying.
Yep. But yeah, I believe that was the end of my UFO or other
That was really fun.
quiz.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, good
sorry,
job, man. We
sorry
learned
this one
stuff too.
took a lot longer. I had time to do my homework.
Nah.
So it was a bit more verbose.
No, I liked it. I like getting information too on like what everything is.
Now,
Yeah.
are you a bit curious though about when the earliest UFO sighting?
Yes.
Now this is based on Wikipedia. Are you curious? This was circa 1440 BC.
What?
According to the disputed Thule papyrus, the scribes of the pharaoh Tutmos III reported that fiery discs were encountered floating over the skies. See,
Interesting.
yeah, and then there's stuff where in ancient Rome, stuff being reported in the sky from such famous fellows like Josephus, Tacitus, and Eusebius of Caesarea,
Eusebius.
Oh, yes.
Cassiodeo.
Oh. He made the Casio.
Yeah, I love his stereos.
Yeah, good job.
Yes. Let's see. In the 16th to 17th centuries, there was the Nuremberg. There's a celestial phenomenon over Basel. A strange comet-like object that stayed fixed on the sky and which wasn't found in any catalog of known comets in Wallachia.
Wow.
On Targovishta, which if you guys have seen any of the Castlevania
I was about to say, those
Netflix
are
show, that's literally...
where those take place.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's probably where they got some of that stuff.
Huh.
About the time of Michael the Brave's attack on Targovishta, which was occupied by the Ottoman army, there were reports of a bizarre comet that appeared in the city, staying pinned on the sky and shining over the Wallachian camp.
Whoa.
Reportedly, it stayed there for about 2 hours before vanishing.
Huh.
And this was mentioned in a Transylvanian newspaper and an Italian language report.
That's spooky stuff.
Yeah, so it goes on. There's
That's
all sorts of...
insane.
There was an 1897 Aurora, Texas incident.
Aurora.
Yeah.
Arr.
There's a tale of a UFO crash and a burial of its alien pilot in the local cemetery. That was sent to newspapers in Dallas and Fort Worth in April 1897.
Yeah, I have heard about that.
Yeah. So it looks like we're going grave robbing, guys.
No.
About time.
But yeah, there's tons of stuff.
Cool.
So if at some point you want me to come back and just talk about all the crazy shit of
Absolutely.
alien history,
Sounds great.
I could use that.
Yeah, man.
Part 2.
Da.
All right.
All right, what do you got for us?
Okay.
Monster.
So I was doing some research on some more stuff that I wanted to dig into, and the internet was just not going to have it because apparently there is a new trend on the rise,
Oh goodness.
and that is the
Is it flossing?
Mama?
Momo challenge. So let me go ahead and
We're relevant.
I guess.
Goodness
What is a
gracious.
challenge?
Yeah,
didn't know there was a
that's
challenge
why,
attached to
yeah,
it.
that's what threw me off at first too when people started screaming it at me, and I'm like, I'm like, what do you mean challenge? So
Is it to stare in her beautiful eyes for 30
I would
seconds?
certainly hope so.
Is it to go
So
watch Beetlejuice
here's
instead?
Momo.
Ew.
Is
No.
that the full picture?
No, I actually have the full picture somewhere though.
What?
No offense. No offense to this creature. I just.
No, it's too late.
I-
Momo is
I
insulted.
scared.
So it's like a
The sculpture.
yeah, it's like a sculpture, right?
It is a.
Wouldn't it be weird to see like everyone on the internet is freaking out about this stupid sculpture that I made that I don't even like? It's just in my garage. Oh, it's like a chicken.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not.
So it's not.
okay.
It's not supposed to be like a full blown chick.
That is horrifying.
Here is the. Here's the
So it's
ironic.
it's like a harpy almost.
I was about to say, here's the ironic thing about me falling upon this and people screeching at me until I spoke about it. The next creature I was going to study was harpies, and it was ironic that they were just like, "You shut your Momo." Thank you.
Yeah, you know, it's like the ostrich and the emu of harpies. Like it
Literally.
Like for whatever reason, it was on some isolated island and evolved without wings, but it's got them running legs.
Yeah.
And it's coming for your babies and your kneecaps.
Your babies
So-
and your kneecaps.
The other thing was a little blurry. Here's one last time. Here's like the full thing
Okay.
Wow.
Is it like
with the bazongas and everything out.
is it
Oh,
a
I thought those were muscles, but those are in fact breasticles.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Sad to say.
So this guy, I guess you're gonna tell us about it, right?
Yeah, so I have two things to talk to you about. First, I was going to talk about my personal experience with Momo, and then I was going to tell you about the hoax, which is big enough now that it got its own Wikipedia page.
Oh.
And, you know, it's funny how you can look up specific famous people. Like, I was looking up some voice actors the other day. No, I was looking up a famous boxer. Homeboy doesn't even have a Wikipedia page. But don't worry. The Momo Challenge has, like, a stupid literature book of a Wikipedia page. And then lastly, I have one more source, and that is, let me see here, JapanTimes.com. Because, so for starters, it's not latex, it's silicone. I thought the silicone statue was from like Argentina or something like that, but it turns out one of the supposed victims is from Argentina. A lot of people thought that the artist was from Mexico or like South America. No, it actually was a Japanese artist, ironically enough. And I have a bit of an interview with him, the actual guy that created the thing, pulled up. So I'll get to that last. So first, and I'll make this relatively quick, here's my experience with Momo. The picture that was circulating the internet late last year was just a picture of the face. And a lot of people were using it as they thought it looked like a hyper-realistic version of Froppy from Boku no Hero
That's the frog girl, right?
Academia, yeah. Academia, however you want to say it. Yeah, so there's the frog girl, and I guess the thing that stands out the most with her is her, like, V mouth. So they looked at the statue and it's Froppy. And so there's all these, the you so precious when, and they would, it was like a whole meme where they would instantly like crank up the bass and then try to make it creepy, and it was like, and that's the thing, it was like this stupid meme for a while there that was like, real Froppy is scaring children, but that's it. It lasted like a week, maybe 2 weeks, like it wasn't relevant. And then I guess someone reverse image searched and like got like the full pic and everything, and then from there, a couple of weeks ago, so like I would say early February, I started hearing about the challenge, and students were coming up to me. By the way, you were talking about announcements. I'm a teacher now. Mr. Mac is, or Monster Mac is also Mr. Mac. There you go.
Mr. Monster.
So Mr. Monster, if you will. So I had students come up to me and they're like, "Is this like the Blue Whale Challenge?" Which I guess is something else I'll be looking
Oh
up.
no, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
what is it with people in challenges?
See, that's the thing. It's like, first you had to be stupid, and now you're pushing the blame on something else like Slenderman, because before it was the Cinnamon Challenge. And it's like, are you stupid? The Tide Pod challenge.
Yeah.
Go on, chew on it. Even though videos of people would just be, I popped it in my mouth and now I'm spitting it out. But, people are stupid enough to, whatever.
Well, just a reminder of the challenges that were floating around when we were youngsters. There was, let's choke people out.
That's right.
Or
It was the sleeping challenge or whatever. It's like, you're not sleeping. You're cutting off the oxygen to their brain.
And I happen to remember that a friend of the show, Rory Stott, he had like a little joke gum thing, and he would, I think,
That's right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
and we had another friend who I think would sit there and he'd hold on to it and just shock the crap out of himself
That's right. I
over
forgot about
just
that.
to just see how long he could do it, because he was not.
Oh my lord.
I'm sure Roy will get a laugh out of this, but thanks to him, I was actually legitimately afraid of anybody offering me gum all throughout.
Is that why you didn't take Izzy's gum last night?
Yeah, I was just like, no, he's back.
When I literally whipped out the package and opened it and pulled some out of my own.
There's always a decoy one. You got to put a decoy one in the front. So you're like, here, I am innocent. Look at me.
I like gum.
You may get your own now.
Last thing about the prank things, I forgot that for a while there, back in like the early 2000s, people started getting more clever. So it was like way more than just the gum. I remember it was like a fork. There was it was all these random objects that you would normally just be like, oh, I grabbed it. Oh, a pin. It was like when you click the pin, you go to click it and it goes, it gets you.
Yeah, someone did that to me with the pen. And I thought it was just like a nerve thing. Like I moved my arm in a weird way. Sometimes your nerves just kind of like it. And I was like, oh, that was weird. Anyway, and I picked up the pen again. And it happened again. And I was like, okay, this is not okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the devil.
But anyways, so yeah, I mean, our challenges were more physically harmful. I remember like the bloody knuckle thing, and it's just people are stupid.
Like,
People are just in general stupid.
We're just gonna punch each other's fists until someone pusses out.
This proves I'm strong. No,
I'm a man.
it just makes you look stupid.
I'm a man, mama.
But anyways, so yeah, as you can tell, with the rise of internet culture, there's a lot of internet spooky challenges now on. Man, someday I'll study the other one. I don't care. But anyways, the Momo challenge. So before I even get into this, just real quick, a bunch of students were coming to me because they, at the time, knew that I liked paranormal stuff, and they're like, "Dude, what do you know about Momo? Is it real?" And I'm like, yes!
That's so sad.
And then I got slammed against the wall and dragged out the door.
You have the Momo tomes at home. And you've been poring over them at night.
Yep.
There's a light on in your room way early in the morning. You never stop reading them.
All we hear is the sound of clucking and clacking on the wood floor.
Just scratching on. Yeah, speaking of on wooden floors and whatnot. Yet again, I'm gonna put
we
a
heard
cement
you. We
brick.
heard you last. What? It was 2 nights ago, wasn't it?
Last night. No, I'm gonna put a cement brick in front of that door. I'm sick of it.
I don't know why you haven't already.
I started because I can't afford one.
Oh my lord.
That's why you
I
just
tried
steal
putting
one.
piles of clothes in front of my door because that cat will just be like, and he does not give up. He puts his full body weight into the crack of that door.
Yeah,
and then
he
I open
does.
it up. He looks and goes, and I'm like, no! What did I say?
He does
Pick
not
him up.
care.
I turn him around and I chuck him.
He does not care.
He does not care.
No.
Okay, so just put some flypaper in front of your door.
I'm about to.
No,
And
don't
when
do
you hear
that. No, it's good. And we had flypaper at one time at our old place, and he got it wrapped around his tail and up under his whole torso, and I had to literally shave it off of him. It was
that
awful.
sucks.
Okay, in that case,
But that still sounds like his problem, not mine.
put jelly down on the floor so he gets a sticky surprise,
He's like,
but he doesn't die from paper.
I wake up and
Ew.
he's washing his hands.
Just standing up like a human, washing his hands.
No, he's licking every little finger. He's like,
He's just like, what's your deal, man?
It's like
He
real
likes the
mature
jelly.
asshole. Real mature.
Jelly?
real mature man.
So, anyways, I'm sure I have people that are just sitting on the edge of their seat about this. And
I
we're
need to
also-
know. You just keep
So,
stopping.
I'm
I'm the one that needs to know.
All right, so
Why do you
Momo,
need
the
to know?
Momo challenge.
Because I don't know what it is. People keep talking about it.
I honestly thought it was just a meme to scare people's parents.
Well, and see, that's the thing. So, and they probably explain in the article anyways, but in short, the Momo challenge I saw from a warning, which, by the way, we got an email about. It was like, we talked about this before. I've actually told you guys, I don't remember if it was on the podcast, but I talked to you guys about YouTube Kids. And here's the short version of what I warned before. YouTube Kids, if you are a listener, if you have friends or family that have children, stop using it.
It's not for kids.
It's not for kids. And here's the thing. YouTube, with all of its crazy, awful algorithms, already sucks. I, as an adult, don't like the YouTube page. I don't like the homepage every time I log in because it's like, would you like some R. Kelly? Look at R. Kelly. Here's R. Kelly. I don't want that.
Why is R. Kelly showing up
I
on
have
your
like
stuff?
5, because I want to make jokes now, but I can't.
Also, it's
Mr. Mac, what was that joke about? What did you mean by that?
R. Kelly did what? Anyways.
what didn't R. Kelly do? Hey-o!
Anyways, so the algorithm sucks, but on top of that, YouTube refuses. And it's really frustrating because it's owned by Google, and Google is supposed to be, like the good guys, but they're not. No, they're Zuckerbergs, I guess. They're all Zuckerbergs. Zucks. Anyways, YouTube Kids has a broken algorithm, and you can upload to it pretty much whatever you want. There was Russian child porn at one point on YouTube Kids. There are videos of people from other countries. I don't know which, so I won't call you out, other countries. But there are videos of foreign people dressing up as, I know one example was Spider-Man and Elsa, and they got into a physical fist fight where blood was drawn on at least one of them.
Oh my gosh.
And this was uploaded to YouTube Kids. It's like, Spider-Man fight. And it's like, you think you're getting into it, and it's like, oh, he's going to punch Doc Ock. No, it's literally a man and a woman duking it out.
Yeah.
And then even if you get the stuff that you think you want on YouTube Kids, it is an inverted photo of the boss baby whose head has been detached and is just going across the screen, making you, the parent, think, oh, my kid gets to pause it to see when it lands. But one, not only is your kid never going to get it because your kid is stupid, but but the video is just going to play for 10 minutes, and then at the very end, it's just going to land on the head and then have this creepy little sparkle effect and go, yeah! You're not teaching your child anything. Put on regular YouTube and go to PBS and watch their videos. There. Little Einsteins, do that. Do not go to YouTube Kids. There is so much wrong with YouTube Kids. I could do an entire episode on the horrors of YouTube Kids. Stay off of it.
I've just seen a bunch of like Peppa Pig sort of lookalikes that are just horrifying.
Yeah, it's just like Peppa Pig getting murdered repeatedly.
So here's the thing.
No.
Here's the thing. There is, and I don't judge against or hate these people. There are artists on like I can't believe it's still around. Newgrounds.com and if it's still around, E-Bombs World and stuff like that. Flash creators.
Albino Black Sheep.
Yeah,
perhaps?
oh man, Albino Black Sheep. But anyways, animators that still upload their, joke animations on these websites. And I know for a fact, I actually saw when the really messed up Peppa Pig thing was on Newgrounds. Someone took it from there, ripped it, and put like a fake, and that's the thing. They're literally just trying to ruin your children's lives. They put like an actual screenshot of an episode of Peppa Pig, and then it plays that animation. And it's like, no, man. So anyways, we got a warning about, there's like, also, even people who are trying to do the right thing and be like, keep your kids off of YouTube Kids, make these awful flyers that, took like 10 seconds and in paint to put together. And it's like, do not go to YouTube Kids, the Momo challenge. Kids have committed suicide and they are being told to do terrible things by this creature. Look, this is Momo. Please don't listen to Momo. And that's all they've got. They don't even know. The research is awful. So here's what the internet has to say. The Momo challenge is a hoax and urban legend, sad to say, about a non-existent social media challenge that was spread on Facebook. Note I said non-existent. We'll get to that in a second. And other media outlets. It was reported that children and adolescents were being enticed by a user named Momo to perform a series of dangerous tasks, including violent attacks, self-harm, and suicide. Despite claims that the phenomenon had reached worldwide proportions in July 2018, The number of actual complaints were relatively small, and no law enforcement agency has confirmed that anyone was harmed as a direct result of it. Concern and distress registered by children were primarily driven by media reports rather than the result of Momo, leading children's charities to view warnings against the alleged phenomenon and causing more harm than good by leading to a self-fulfilling prophecy, which may encourage children to look up violent material on the internet. Yeah. So, in short, in summary, there may have been like a jump scare joke video somewhere on YouTube, who knows?
Yeah.
But it was the panic that was made by this that caused it had the Slender Man effect. They were like, look out everybody, warn your kids that this video will tell them to commit suicide and hurt people, and the video doesn't exist.
Oh.
And so then kids would go and people would be like, oh, is that a thing? And they would turn around and they would make actual horrid videos.
Yeah.
Which, like it says, it became a self-fulfilling prophecy. So, the challenge became a worldwide phenomenon in 2018 after an Indonesian newspaper reported that it had caused a 12-year-old girl to kill herself. Awareness grew in February of 2019 after the police service of Northern Ireland posted a public warning on Facebook, and America media personality Kim Kardashian posted on her Instagram story pleading that YouTube remove the alleged Momo videos.
What?
Thanks, Kim. You're a sweetheart.
Yeah, because that's definitely what people are looking for when
Yeah.
they Google her.
I should have known it came from a stupid source
And
like
her
that.
makeup line, Izzy. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
The Momo challenge gained the public's attention in July 2018, where it was noticed by a YouTuber, Rainbot. Targeting teenagers, people presented themselves as a character named Momo on WhatsApp. Messages trying to convince people... Oh, I'm sorry. They hopped on there with messages trying to convince people to contact them through their cell phone. As with other internet hoaxes presented as challenges such as Blue Whale, players are then instructed to perform a succession of tasks, refusal to do so being met with threats.
Okay.
Messages are subsequently accompanied by frightening or gory pictures. A number of British parents claim that Momo being is inserted into seemingly innocuous YouTube and YouTube Kids videos about Peppa Pig and Fortnite.
Yeah.
These claims were repeated by the group of National Online Safety. Although authorities have not confirmed any physical harm as a result of this, or even that a sustained exchange of messages took place between Momo and anybody, police forces and school administrations on several continents... Isn't that all?
What?
Don't we have 7?
There's only 7 continents.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
That's all of them. Anyways.
They're pretty lax in Antarctica.
Apparently. Yeah, so WhatsApp is encouraging its users to block phone numbers engaging in this practice and to report them to the company. Commenting on the numbers of rumors of suicide related to the Momo challenge, web security experts and folklorists studying urban legends have stated that the phenomenon is likely a case of moral panic, a sensationalized hoax fueled by unverified media reports. Benjamin Rafford says, the Blue Whale game and the Momo challenge have all the hallmarks of a classic moral panic. Fueled by parents' fears and wanting to know what their kids are up to, there's an inherent fear in what young people are doing with technology. By September 2018, most phone numbers associated with Momo were out of service. The founder of fact-checking site Snopes, David Michelson, doubts anybody came to any harm and said the whole thing may primarily be a product of bullies and pranksters latching onto a handy mechanism to goad and torment vulnerable youngsters rather than an instinct part of a particular social media challenge. In response to reports, YouTube has said that it has not received any links to videos showing or promoting the Momo challenge on YouTube, but permits news stories and videos intending to raise awareness and or educate against the alleged phenomenon. The website has demonstrated, demonetized all videos mentioning Momo, including those of news organizations, saying such content violates its advertiser-friendly content guidelines. It has also placed advisory warnings on some Momo videos alerting viewers of inappropriate or offensive content. So, and then here's just a brief spread of everything that they claimed was going on. So, despite several media reports tentatively establishing a relationship between Momo and the suicide of a 12-year-old in Janeiro, Maschwitz, no link has been confirmed by authorities.
Okay.
That's the Argentina kid.
Oh.
Authorities in Brazil have not confirmed any cases linking Momo. The National SaferNet nonprofit organization has been approached by concerned parents and warned that there is only one variety of scheme to extort money and information from people. Let's see. In the province of Quebec, local police forces have indicated that people in their jurisdiction have been approached and to participate in the Momo Challenge, but did not report any victims. They are asking people to not use the phone number and provide in WhatsApp messages and to send screen-captured images of their phone to the police authorities. And it goes on. I already read over these, but basically it's just a whole bunch of nobody actually got hurt, but everyone's saying so on the news and everything else, and it's freaking everyone out.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
So it's pretty much like the same people who are saying don't vaccinate your kids are also
yeah,
going like, you better watch out for this challenge because some liberal internet kid's gonna make your good wholesome Christian child commit suicide.
literally. So, and then just to wrap things up real quick, so just so you know, the actual silicone sculpture was thrown away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was just tossed out. And so the thing is,
Okay.
here is
It's in the wild now.
Oh, no.
It's free.
He released it.
Oh, no.
Remember what I said in episode 1 of So Anyway It's Haunted, where if something exists for like 100 years, it gets a personality and a soul?
No.
No, I don't remember
Me
that.
neither. Anyways,
In all honesty, the latex will probably like fall apart based on like solar burns. And stuff.
yeah.
Oh.
UV radiation would tear
Where do
that
you
shit up.
throw something like that away?
Let's find out.
In
Just
the
throw it in a dumpster behind a JCPenney
Dude,
or
you can just
something?
put it in your personal trash.
Okay. Huh.
So, the ghastly image of
Woodchipper.
Google-eyed creature, of a Google-eyed creature that triggered the so-called Momo Challenge, was born in the cluttered 2-story studio on the outskirts of Tokyo.
Oh.
The creator of the girl-like monster, Keisuke Iso, seemed baffled by his newfound fame brought on by the disturbing phenomenon amplified by unverified reports of children being enticed by the fictitious Momo into performing dangerous tasks involving self-harm and even suicide. He says, I have a small child myself, so I can understand how parents are concerned, the 43-year-old special effects artist said. And while I'm glad that my work is being known around the globe, I'd like to ask whoever's behind the phenomenon to be more discreet in using the image, he said, adding that the sculpture that sparked the craze no longer even exists. Also, ISO heads the Link Factory, a small company based in Taichikawa, a suburban city in western Tokyo that specializes in making props for television shows. A longtime fan of the grotesque and the occult, he created the silicone sculpture that inspired Momo 3 years ago as an extension of a series of ghoulish artworks he called The Grudge.
Ooh, I kind of want to see his other artworks.
Yeah, they do have a few pictures. I'll pull them up. Based on the Ubume, a supernatural creature or yokai that appears in both Japanese and Chinese folklore as either a ghost of a woman who has died in pregnancy or a mysterious feathered creature that croaks like an infant and harms children. I think I talked about something like that before. The 1 meter tall figure with avian feet and human breast was featured in an exhibition at Vanilla Gallery in Tokyo's high-end Ginza shopping district in 2016.
Wow.
His sculpture, however, attracted little attention at the time. It was regulated to being wrapped and stored outside his studio for nearly 2 years, left to the mercy of the elements.
Okay.
At one point, the sheets enveloping the figure unraveled, Iso recalled. A neighbor taking a stroll saw the sculpture and he said that he almost had a heart attack.
Yeah. I was about to say, can you imagine a disintegrating version of this?
Yeah.
I'd rather
Ugh.
not.
Ugh.
It would look like something out of a Junji Ito manga,
Yeah,
I guarantee.
I would poop
Just
my
like,
pants.
yeah. It'd be one of those things like, he's like, don't worry, it's taken care of. And the thing wraps off and there's like an actual skull under it or something. Anyways, by last year, the figure had been damaged.
Oh
Oh, my
no.
gosh. By last year, the figure had been damaged beyond repair, and ISO decided to do away with it, sending it off to the dumpster.
Oh, Momo.
Oh, no,
Oh,
Momo.
Momo.
A
It's
week
free.
or two later, he began receiving hateful messages on Facebook telling him to be ashamed for creating such a hideous monster.
What?
Some even told him to die.
Oh, whoa.
I was confused about the commotion, but soon learned about the Momo challenge, he said. This was around July 2018 when the phenomenon first began making the rounds on the internet. Likened to the Blue Whale Challenge, a similarly unsustained social media phenomenon dating from 2016, asking participants to engage in increasingly harmful conduct, the Momo Challenge was soon linked to numerous reports and rumors of youth suicides in South America, Europe, India, Mexico, and the U.S. leading school administrators and police forces to issue warnings. At the center of the online fiasco that fed on the anxieties of petrified adults was the haunting image of Iso's Ubume. Unbeknownst to its creator, the picture of his artwork from the gallery displayed posted online had been cropped and used to propagate the myth. The challenge is supposedly shared via social media services like WhatsApp, where the devilish face of Momo pops up alongside chilling messages and commands. Whew. The mysterious trend, once subsided, was rekindled recently when rumors began surfacing in the UK that Momo was finding its way into children's programs, including Peppa Pig and Fortnite videos. It also saw... Oh, here we go again. It also saw celebrities like Kim Kardashian take to Instagram, where she urged 129 million followers to ask YouTube to take down the... You tell YouTube to take it down! You think your 129 million followers have any power?
They never forgave her for breaking the internet.
They really... No.
But
no.
can Momo floss?
Well, we're going to find out.
She doesn't
Yeah.
have any arms.
Not anymore.
Momo.
She got them breasticles, though.
There she is. She's flossing in my hallway. Look
Oh.
out! I can't teach tomorrow. She's flossing.
Oh no.
I just imagine like that thing kind of like clacking through the house like the raptors on Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Except considering it's only like 2 or 3 feet tall, if you just had some garden shears, you could just reach out and clip, and then problem solved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we want to clear something up regarding the Momo Challenge. We've seen no recent evidence of videos promoting the Momo Challenge on YouTube. It tweeted, videos encouraging harmful and dangerous, blah blah blah. That's all YouTube talking. We don't care about you. Yuki Yashoda, a freelance writer and author of books on urban legends and unsolved mysteries, said the panic induced by the Momo Challenge may be a reflection of the fear harbored by the public towards social media as a hotbed of unmonitored violence and other unruly behavior. But unlike last year, when the phenomenon was said to have manifested itself on social media services, he said recent reports appear to target video streaming platforms like YouTube. Perhaps it's taking its cue from ElsaGate, a term referring to an outward, child-friendly video posted online that contains materials inappropriate for kids. YouTube kids! Interestingly, last year when the hoax made headlines overseas, it barely registered in Japan, he said. But this time around, it went viral as Japanese parents picked up on the scare. I speculate that unconfirmed reports saying Momo showed up on YouTube Kids, stupid, which many parents show their children, hit a nerve and rapidly spread safety concerns through parental networks. Yoshida also noticed the eerie connection between the Momo Challenge, which supposedly preyed on kids, and the Ubume, from which Momo's image is modeled after. Ubume is said to be a ghost of a woman who died during childbirth. Since it functions as a symbol of death during the process of paramount importance for the survival of all things living, giving birth. That was a weird sentence. I consider the Ubume to be the most important out of Japanese yokai, he said. Furthermore, I believe the primal fear it inspires in us is universal. Iso, meanwhile, still doesn't know what to make of the madness. The creator said he had received phone calls from overseas agents asking him to sell them the rights to Momo's image for potential film production.
Oh, yep. I was wondering about that.
Yeah, it was only a matter of time.
I mean,
If Slender Man got a movie, you know Momo's getting a movie.
well, they can just take Slender Man. Like, no one owns Slender Man, right?
Yeah, that's true.
But, like, he made that artwork.
I just
Slender
received
Man
a
owns
similar
Slender
call
Man.
from Mexico, and I've told all of them that I... I've told all of them that I can cooperate, he said.
Yeah.
So far,
For the
none of
right
them have gotten
price.
back to me. I wonder why. He
Yep.
recognized that there may be huge marketing potential in Momo,
Oh,
but isn't
yeah.
enthusiastic in pursuing that, citing the sensitive nature of the topic that involves children and suicide.
Yeah.
It would be terrible if I tried to monetize this, he said, as a molded mask of Momo that his friend found and brought back as a souvenir from Mexico's Day of the Dead festivals
What?
sat on his desk.
What? I need to see this.
There's a picture of it.
Oh
Also, there's
my
already people
gosh.
wearing the masks trying to talk.
Okay.
And while Iso's original Ubume is gone, it could easily be reproduced. The plaster cast used to make the now iconic figure is laying somewhere among the tons of garbage piled behind his workshop, he said. Still, that may be a bridge too far. I've received so many inquiries about this, but strangely, no one has shown interest in wanting the actual sculpture.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy.
Okay.
You'd think it would be worth something. Like, it inspires, like, an instant, like an instant reaction once you see it. It's, like, really creepy. I would imagine, like, someone would want to buy it from him. Or someone would, like, consider him, like, a good artist.
Like
So
Rob Zombie
here
or
is
something.
2 of his other pieces.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. Oh, she looks like wasn't there like the doll thing in Paprika?
Yeah.
That kind of like looked like her?
So,
I can't tell what the other thing is though.
The other thing is just like a
Weird neck.
Like a little plankton.
Oh gosh.
Oh, that's kind of
yeah,
interesting.
it's a sideway face with the teeth going all down the neck.
Weird. Okay.
So
It's like a melty face.
the little doll girl is actually another yokai that I know about. That's it's kind of got the rules of vampires, something like that. You have to invite it in, and then when you do, it like goes in, hides in your corner, and torments you, or something like that.
That's terrifying.
It's used definitely in the anime Shiki. It's a well known thing, but yeah, the imagery of it, like the pale faced little dolls, they're all over Japan. Yeah, so yeah, it was used in Paprika. The weird other scientist wanted to be a doll.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, so in short, yeah, he's probably gonna give somebody the rights to it so he can get a movie made. Oh,
Well, good
that's
for
the
him.
other thing. The picture of the mask. That's right. The mask is worse than the. Hold on. Momo
That original mold
mask.
crawled out of that dumpster and found it.
Oh
in that
heck
cafe.
yeah! So I mean, here's it without someone wearing it.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of looks like now that I'm looking at it,
Froppy.
Beetlejuice.
yeah, Beetlejuice. That's what I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The part where they're like,
trying
let's make our spooky faces.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I was like, is this like concept art for Beetlejuice 2?
Yeah.
Beetlejuice goes Hawaiian.
And so here's the picture of him after his friend had sent it to him from Mexico. As you can see, he is very much not impressed.
Behold, I have bested it in battle.
But yeah.
All
So
right.
that's that.
Cool.
I had a specific student come up to me and they were like, "Why do people think Momo was scary but not Jeff the Killer? Jeff the Killer has a
Oh,
big cut
wow.
across his face,
Jeff the
just
Killer.
like." And I was like, "We're not
Forgot
talking
about that.
we're not talking
What the
about
fuck is Jeff the Killer?
You're gonna have to do Jeff the Killer.
Jeff the Killer is
Is it just like a dude with like a spooky coat?
it's another creepypasta. And the sad thing is like the
You
original,
have to do Smile Dog.
You know, it's funny. A student came up to me and was like, "Do you know about creepypastas?" Like, they said like something, and they said and Smile Dog, and that was the picture they showed, and I was like, "Goodness sakes, you would show me Smile Dog." Yeah. So I want to give a brief little shout out to my good friend optional_flow ZYT.
What is happening right now? What is this?
Just a good friend of mine that I want to give a
Okay.
shout out to. Very creative person.
Okay.
Are you being blackmailed? Blink once for yes, and if okay.
So,
I
anyways,
see.
that was Momo.
That was good.
Yeah.
I was really, I was wondering about that.
I'm hoping to be on the front end of all hot
Yep.
news items
tip of the
regarding
spear
yeah,
and
yeah.
all spooky pasta or creepy pastas.
Yeah. Nobody cares about Dracula when we can talk about Jeff the Killer.
Yep.
Jeff the Killer was
Stay relevant,
the
brah.
first picture. You know what? Let me see if I can't find the
Wait.
first ever picture of Jeff the Killer. It's so stupid.
While you're doing that, I'm going to read a little message I got from my friend Monica.
Yes.
She said, I kind of spooked myself out just now. You know that stupid Momo challenge on YouTube where it challenges kids to commit suicide?
What the heck?
By the way, she messaged me in February about this. She said, well, I saw an article pop up about it making a second round, and I saw that that image that it's known for, that big-eyed, stringy-haired girl. I know it's originally an image of a Japanese animation or something like that, but it's still weird to look at. She said, well, 2 days later, today, someone popped up in my DMs, and someone had taken like a screenshot of the sculpture and made it their profile picture. She said, I'm scared. She said, tell me that's just a really creepy coincidence, right? So
It kind
yeah.
of looks like the mask version. Like the
Yeah, it
eyes
kind of
are
looks
much
more like
darker.
yeah.
She has blush, doesn't?
Yeah, she
trying
has
to
blush.
find- Let me see if I can't get it to pull up on Instagram where it says recommended for you. because I'm not even playing with you. Earlier this week, it was like, recommended for you, new user, Momo. And
What the heck?
and they literally just have like one picture. It's that picture, and their descriptive whatever their bio just says, "Look like a snack today."
Okay, so I've been out of it for a while. What is a snack?
Like, you're looking good. Like, you're looking like a snack. I could just eat you up.
Yeah, I guess.
You're looking like a whole snack right now.
I'm just gonna keep reloading this, but if you want to go ahead,
But
and,
not eat you up as in like your aunt would say to you, eat you up like in like a almost like a sexual way.
Yeah.
Like you're like super into someone.
Yeah, you're like attracted to them.
what?
Like, you're looking cute and attractive right now. You're a snack.
I thought it was like an insult, like calling somebody a
Is a
thought.
snack.
No. Being a snack is a good thing. You want to be a snack.
But you don't.
Really, you want to
thought.
be a whole snack.
Not everybody.
No, you don't want to be.
Not everybody
Wouldn't
wants
that
to
just
be
be
a snack.
brunch?
What?
Like if you
What
saw
about-
somebody you like, it's like I want you to be my brunch.
What about
No, you don't. You don't. No.
I-
No,
you
Dad.
Wanna be
You seem like a steak dinner. You look like a steak with a side of grilled asparagus and some macaroni and cheese.
And a cup of milk.
And Pepto Bismol before bed.
Hey kids, am I a second breakfast? Go to bed.
I'm tired
Okay.
of your
Alright.
Hobbit memes, Dad. You suck.
Okay, look. So I have an email. Let's get this going. All right.
Yeah.
Man, this is a long episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting there, dude.
Suggested for you.
My feet are sweaty.
Mom spaghetti.
Oh no, Momo made my feet sweaty.
Oh no.
What?
Oh no,
She did
Dude,
know.
you are so sweaty. I can feel the sweat from you.
She's
That's
stealing your
disgusting.
socks for her creepy bird hands.
Ew.
I mean she can use them. She needs some socks and shoes.
Yeah. Some kind of feathers or something. Okay, look. So, this week I have an email from our friend Rory. Again, he loves emailing in, and we love reading his emails.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, so
We
the
do like Rory.
subject of this email is exploding heads.
Nice.
So he says, "Hey, Spooktown, population 3," which this episode it's population 4.
Is this about like ghostly exploding screaming skulls?
No. And it's also not about spontaneous human combustion, which is what I assumed as well.
Is it about using a large microwave emitter to slowly cook somebody's head and pop it like a grape?
Like in Kick-Ass? No. What the heck? Ew. That's creepy and weird. It's a
It really
it's a
isn't,
cute
though.
it's a cute girl with a Momo mask. Anyway, okay, he says, first off, Mac, I know it's about you, now you have to listen. Mac,
Wow.
the sounds you make in the mic, except maybe the ones that come from your butt. You need to keep making them.
What?
He says the best part about them is when Ashley says, "What was that? And why is it so wet?" He says, "I die laughing every time."
Get wet.
Can do.
He said, "So I learned something that blew my mind." Future pun intended.
Ha.
Since you guys have done so much, some research on sleep disorders like sleep paralysis and sleepwalking and sleep laughing, you may already be very aware of this. But I learned about one that Kay and I have actually experienced, Kay being his wife, a couple times since we've been married. And I want to know if any of you guys have experienced this too, or if you have any stories involving this. He says it is called exploding head syndrome. This usually occurs in the what?
The fact that it's a syndrome, like you go into the doctor and you're just like a
More
neck.
than once.
Yeah, you go into the doctor and you're just a neck, and he's like, you've got exploding head syndrome.
You see, you just need to reinflate the small head that's in your neck stock.
You can like the idea of having like chronic exploding head like just makes me laugh.
You just need heroin.
You just have keep popping your head like a balloon, and then another one inflates under it.
Ew.
And then throughout the night, it just keeps inflating. And then the little one starts up, and it just gets bigger. and
That's
bigger.
gross.
It's like whenever you think you're gonna sneeze and everybody's like, "What?" and you're just like, "Oh, never mind." And you're like, "Oh, I'm good."
Okay.
Sorry.
He says this usually occurs in the twilight zone of sleep where you're just starting to hit that deep sleep zone, but not quite there. But not always. It has happened to me in a deep sleep. He says what happens is you hear a loud crash, a crash sound that jolts you awake violently. Sometimes it sounds like a gunshot or a large drum boom or a random loud sound. When this happens to me, I hear a sound that is like a glass plate falling on the ground and breaking. But what is crazy about it is, what is crazy about it is you get startled awake, and for me at least, I wake up quickly, a little confused because my brain is restarting a little bit. But when I do come to, somehow I instinctively know that sound was not a real sound, meaning there were no actual sound waves moving the air, reverberating off my eardrums. It was all in my head. Kay doesn't hear it. Hazel doesn't hear it. It was all in my head. I still get up out of bed just to check things, but I never find anything that could explain the sound. I looked it up, and there was no real negative health consequences to exploding head syndrome, other than a slightly elevated heart rate right after waking up, obviously. I couldn't find anyone who could explain why this happens or what makes it happen in the brain. That was a horrifying noise. What was
the
that?
heck was that?
Was that your phone?
That was my podcast alert.
Oh, really?
So I guess another podcast dropped just now during recording.
Man.
And let's see which podcast crashed this podcast.
What?
Let's see
I thought your brother was screaming.
Yeah, I thought he was.
I was like, something's behind me. I'm gonna die. This is it.
What kind of notification goes?
Okay. This is a bonus question for bonus points on the quiz.
Okay.
If you guys can guess what the podcast is
it
you get an extra point.
The Adventure Zone?
Okay, you're saying Adventure Zone?
I can't remember the ones you listen to. Is it the D&D one? Is it the one where there are time travelers?
My brother, and me.
Okay, so
Do
you're
you
saying
listen
Bam Bam.
I don't know. I don't know.
You're saying you have no idea.
I don't know.
You're saying Adventure Zone.
Because you listen to a bunch of different podcasts.
I consume a massive amount of podcasts.
Me too.
Good job, Brain.
No.
Will you move your mic down a little bit?
It's
so
actually
you don't have to like keep doing that. There you go. Cool.
it's actually episode 67 of the Unexpectables.
Oh.
Yeah, it's where the guys from like Team 4 Star play D&D.
Oh.
So I was kind of right.
It's really.
So I was right, you guys. So it was me.
Yeah, she was the closest because you guys both assumed it was McElroy's. But Adventure Zone dropped yesterday.
Okay, so.
But you can blame those Canadians for the.
Yeah, thank you, Canada, for screaming in my ear.
So explains what makes it happen in the brain. Here we go.
Why is it always your segments where something horrifying?
I don't know, dude. I think honestly things happen around us, but we're not spooked yet. But by the time we get to my segment, we've been so spooked that any little thing is like, it freaks us out. Okay, so he says, I feel like it happens to Kay more than me. She has told me that it happens to her and it sounds something like a door slamming. Has that ever happened to any of you guys? It is kind of freaky, and this is more neurological than paranormal, but it is still one of those things that could be misconstrued as paranormal if you have never heard of this obscure condition. So yes, this has happened to me.
Really?
Yeah, it happens every now and then. Sometimes it sounds like a door closing. Sometimes it sounds like a voice. Sometimes I think it might be like my voice. Like when you kind of like startle awake from yourself, you're just like you make like a noise, Yeah, it definitely happens to me. And it's annoying, but
I think
bless you.
I've had instances where my dreams are really loud, and then like I wake up really suddenly out of my dreams, and it's like really quiet in the room. So I'm not sure like where the noise was coming from or whatever. But I don't think that's the same thing.
I mean, I woke up from that Ted Bundy dream feeling the knife wounds in my fingers.
Oh gosh,
That's
that's right.
horrible, dude.
Well, it wasn't so much like pain, but like like if you take something kind of sharp and you run it across your finger,
Yeah.
and you can feel the lines where it touched. It's like that all over my fingers, where I'd been knife fighting with Ted Bundy.
Wow.
That's insane. That's weird.
It's all right.
That's creepy.
I mean, I had the dream at like 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Still creepy though.
Yeah.
Wait, what about you?
I've been jolted awake by stuff, but It's never been like what he's describing there. It wasn't like a sound that I was like, oh.
Oh. Okay, so he says what? Are you gonna say anything?
I've also been jolted awake by loud sounds, but it was whenever my ceiling was collapsing after filling with water.
What the heck? When did that happen to you?
Oh, this was a few years ago when I first moved down to where I work. But I started getting a leak in my ceiling because it was raining super bad. And so there was like a bubble. And I was like, well, this doesn't look good. So I moved my bed and stuff into the kitchen. And I went and crashed on the couch. And then later I hear this clonk, 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 and then all this stuff collapsing and hitting the ground. And the ceiling fan and the ceiling had filled with enough water to where it buckled and collapsed in where I was sleeping earlier.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's insane, dude. What the heck?
Yeah, so no, I don't have any like phantom glass breaking.
Just real glass.
I have like ceilings collapsing in or strange knife wounds.
Oh Lord. Okay. Rory goes on to say, I wonder if people have had this event occur and thought this was a paranormal experience. He says, I bet so. Blaming poltergeists on their own brain issues. I feel like a majority of the ghost claims derive from instances like this, but I love that there are always a few really good ones that are just unexplainable. I also learned the other day something that I found cool. When I originally learned about infrasound, for those who may not know, this is the sound at hertz levels so low it is undetectable to our ears, but supposedly causes vibrations in the eye that can cause visual hallucinations like shadowy spots, like many ghost sightings, and also inexplicable feelings of fear and dread. Anyways, when I originally learned about this phenomenon, I threw my hands up and said, well, that's it. That's what all ghost sightings are. I was kind of disappointed that there actually was a scientific answer for so many paranormal events. But it turns out that a lot of those original studies done after the discovery were a little flawed. And the results that they first obtained are not replicable. Replicable. Sorry. Meaning under a controlled environment, they are having a hard time reproducing these hallucinations and feeling of fear with machines that produce these infrasounds.
Interesting.
Yeah. Very interesting. As Izzy strokes his beard.
Very interesting.
He goes on to say this doesn't mean that infrasound isn't an explanation, but it does mean that the jury's still out. I saw it as a way to discredit ghost sightings, but now I no longer can be so dismissive. The truth is out there. It's true.
It is true.
It's out there.
It's out there, man. Let's see. He says, love you guys. Keep up the good work. Hope you saw ghosts in Austin, especially you, Chris. You need to have a paranormal experience desperately.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I say to that, stay away from my husband, Rory. Rory, the Spookleberry Stots.
Oh.
Spookleberry.
So there we go, my dudes.
I have thoughts.
That's why you've been so quiet. You're just formulating what your thoughts. Okay, what are your thoughts?
Okay, one, he might be hearing doors shutting and stuff because it's the Monsters Inc. doors.
Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me. So help me. So help me.
Exactly. Also,
Exactly.
Also, I'm gonna get on the air. Rory is definitely a skinwalker, and he was replaced in that mine.
Oh no!
I knew it.
That's so creepy sounding. He was in our house.
Yeah,
It's true.
No.
well, no, his skin was.
Ew.
I hear you.
Wow, Rory. That's you gotta throw down now, man. What do you gotta say to that?
He just clicks his tongue and
His second eyelids.
Yep.
blink. Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
Let's see what else.
You're just going down a list.
Also, it could be he's got gremlins,
Oh.
and I say that.
Wait,
because-
isn't there one of the Yuletide boys, Door Slammer?
Yeah, door slammer.
Door slammer. Door sniffer.
Yeah. So it could be.
Boot
Spoon licker.
It could be some Nordic Christmas kids.
Yeah.
But I'm saying my family's always been haunted by gremlins.
What?
The idea of gremlins, when things go missing,
Oh.
when strange things happen, it's Gremlins.
Okay.
My grandpa had them. My dad has them.
What the heck? What?
Luckily, I don't seem to have them.
Huh.
But, you know.
Well,
never
maybe
know.
they did that to your roof.
Maybe they did.
It wasn't the water.
The Gremlins.
Poor construction.
So-
It was gremlin pee.
Ew. What?
Yeah, it's very fertile for the soil. But yeah, Rory might have a bad case of gremlins.
Okay.
And I refer to like the gremlins and the idea, not like the movie where it's like the cute little Furby that turns into a little goblin.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like the stuff where there were old Looney Tune cartoons about like gremlins on like bombers and stuff, just messing with the equipment on the plane. So
Is that what was on the wing of the plane in the Twilight movie?
Yeah.
Twilight Zone movie?
I mean, that was just
the
implied.
William Shatner said, "There's something on the wing. There's something
Yeah.
on the wing." Yeah, I mean it could be a gremlin. It could be something else.
Okay.
But yeah, it could very easily have contracted a case of gremlins.
My dad, when I was about 15, my sister was, I'd say probably like 8, 7 or 8, and my cousin was about 8 or so. When my cousin would spend the night with my sister, they would have like a little slumber party, whatever. I'd be in my room sulking or on MySpace or something. My dad came up with this folklore basically for our house. He came up with, I think he called it sock elves. So what he would do is, he would, if the girls were wearing socks, he would take off, one sock each from their feet and then hide them. And he would take one other thing too, and I can't remember. He made like a whole folklore thing up about how sock elves come out after midnight, and they'll take one of your socks and then keep it for themselves, and something else about food. I'll have to ask him. And so like the girls asked him about it, whatever, and they didn't believe him. And so he was like, fine, I'll show you. It's on the internet. And so, like, literally having just made it up, he just Googled it just to see what would happen. He was like, please come, this something happened. And apparently, like, it's an actual thing. Like, a sock elf is like a little dude that steals your socks. And there's like a little Wikipedia page about it. And he was like, this really works out.
Like the underwear gnomes.
What?
Yes.
No.
From
what?
South Park.
Step 1, steal underwear. Step 2, Step 3, profit.
Anyway, so yeah, you guys.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was an action-packed episode.
Action
We talked about Mama and
Meemaw.
Meemaw and
The Meemaw challenge.
subterranean vibrations in your eyeballs.
Yep.
Oh, that's another thing. The infrasound, it might cause hallucinations, but what's causing the infrasound? Or who?
Ghost farts.
It's Meemaw.
Yeah, they're just ghosts hovering around your face.
There's a really good comic about that. I'll have to show it to you. Yeah, dude. So on our Instagram page, anyway, it's haunted. I put up a question asking what movies y'all would want us to review, and we got a couple good ones. We got Scream,
Yeah.
the original one, which is a really good movie.
Don't
Killer.
review it yet.
What?
We have to watch it first.
That's
Or
true.
it could be bad.
That's true. Scream, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, total classic.
So sick of it though.
Let's see, The Skeleton Key, The Invasion,
Boo.
Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, Blair Witch, but that was mine. I said that to myself. I couldn't help it.
We should review episodes of Goosebumps or Are You Afraid of the Dark?
That's true. That's very true.
If you had to do The Invasion, you had dadgum better go ahead and make it a double feature and watch the Poo The Invasion with Daniel Craig and Paul W.S. Anderson's beautiful wife, and then watch Invasion of the Body Snatchers with Jeff Goldblum and Leonard Nimoy, which is a million times better and way scarier.
Or you could just watch the original.
That's the original.
I also want to watch The Fly.
No, the original?
Oh, you're talking about 30s?
Yeah,
Well,
whatever.
no, it's in the 50s.
Yeah,
50s?
Yeah.
Oh, right,
That's what I
because
was gonna
the
say.
Goldblum was 80s.
And The Fly. We should watch The Fly. So those, also Clown, which we have already watched. Thank you, Adrian. It was really good. We watched it with our friend Lydia. And, Rosemary's Baby. So yeah, those are a lot of really good options, and we'll see what we're gonna do with that.
Yeah. I feel like Izzy would like Clown.
Yeah.
It's like a really ridiculous premise that is actually kind of interesting.
Yeah. I think you would really like it. It's really unassuming. You think it's gonna be stupid, but it turns out to be actually a really good movie. Cool. Well, thanks, Izzy, for joining us. We may not have a creepypasta episode come out this weekend because with schedules, this is coming out on a Friday. So what we'll do is we'll just figure it out, man. Schedules just happen that way. Do you have any last words before I do our outro, Izzy?
Just whatever spooky thing happens, if it bleeds, you can kill it.
That's right.
Oh, interesting. Always go for the eyes, right?
Yeah, go for soft points and joints.
What, soft points and joints?
Yeah, you can make
Oh,
it out of
Lord.
this alive.
Oh, that's actually really nice. Do you have anything else?
Don't let Momo tickle your toes.
Oh, my toes.
She's a toe tickler. You have anything else, McAnally?
No.
All right, sweet. So we're gonna be working on a new song intro too, you guys, which I'm excited about, and we'll have more info on that later.
You didn't mention that you bought that tiny little piano.
Yeah.
I didn't want to mention it yet. I wanted to save it, but yeah, I bought a tiny. What is it? How do you pronounce it?
It's
It's a very popular and good brand of instruments. Schronhut? Schronhut. It is a
my
super
Schwingt.
baby piano, and I'm gonna see what we can do about like recording a new intro song on it because it's super creepy sounding. And I got it for like $10. It's only missing one key.
It's the haunted discount.
The haunted discount. Yeah, I was like, how haunted is this?
Did you open it and see if there was a doll inside it?
I honestly did not.
So there could
have.
very easily be a haunted doll.
Yeah, we'll figure out if it's haunted
You
tonight.
could sell that bitch on the internet.
Yep.
True. Anyway, so thanks for joining us, you guys. Also, can I say the alliteration that you did at the opening reminded me of like my all-time favorite podcast, Good Job Brain, which it's a trivia podcast. Their hosts would do alliterations every single episode. They had like 200 episodes. That's really good. We miss you guys. We love you. Yeah. Come back. Anyway, so you can find us on iTunes, on Stitcher, on Spotify, on YouTube. We are on Instagram at Anyway It's Haunted, and we are on Facebook. So Anyway It's Haunted fan club and forum. Email your paranormal stories at anywayitshaunted@gmail.com, or DM us on Instagram, or just send us these things on our personal things. We don't care. We just want to hear it. If you have like any suggestions, if you have corrections, if you have scary stories, if you have a scary story you've written and you want us to read it like Kenny so bravely did, and it freaked us the H out. It was so freaking scary.
Kenny's story was very Night Vale. Very good.
Night
Very
Vale? I
true.
haven't watched
Very
Night
true.
Vale. Yeah, dude, just like send it in, man. We want to hear from you, and we like you guys, and I think I might be ready to say the L word to you guys. I lesbians you.
I'm fine.
Scott Pilgrim, we love you. Scott Pilgrim is a good movie, McNally. Okay.
It had Captain America, Captain Marvel, and Superman in it.
It really did, dude.
Yeah.
Sweet, man. Well, join us next episode, and we'll see you guys later.
Stay spooky.
Bye.
Go for the joints.
No. Oh, Lord. Oh, no.
It's just you're gonna wake up Mozart, and it's just gonna murder all of us.
The specter of Mozart.